Hello and welcome to another real-time sports fantasy football draft stream. I'm your host, Ian Hartitz. It is a great day to be great. And your boy and Dwain, the Rock McFarland, are back, picking 107, trying to win 500 big ones. Dwain, how you doing, man?
I'm excellent, man. Hanging out with my buddy Ian, or as some people call you, as Ion. Some guy last week that was in here with us thought your name was Ion. Like, could you imagine if your mom named you Ion? But yeah, man, doing good. Getting to hang out with you and doing some drafting. And man, look at this. Right out of the gate, we've already got Jamar Chase gone. Big surprise.
Big freaking surprise. We got our draft board up. Dwain, I have not hesitated, but we've taken, 10, 15 minutes to actually describe the rules of this. So I want to try to correct that this time around. Basically, regular 12-team league. We are full point PPR. Passing yardage, just a little bit different than usual, 0.05 versus 0.04 per passing yard. Otherwise, your usual league, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, which obviously can change things. You do need a DST and kicker. But otherwise, man, we're out here trying to play some ball.
Yeah, the 2 flex thing changes things. And if folks have been watching these, we've already got 3 up, but the running backs just go early and often over here. So it's just something you got to keep in mind, which we're going to have to keep in mind because we're going to be forced with a decision. It's 2 picks away from us. We're in the 7 pick tonight. First thing we're trying to do is win this league, but obviously we want to build a team that if we can get there to the final 3 weeks, 17, 16, and 15, working backwards, it's a playoff race where it's you against all the other league winners trying to play for 500K, Ian. And that's the money that I think we want. But we would be happy to you got to win the league first. So something to keep in mind. Justin Jefferson goes 1 pick away from us. I would love for it to be CD Lamb here. But if not, my question to you is, do we go ahead and just take CMC knowing how these running backs work? Or would you like to go with a Malik Neighbors or one of the wide receivers? There goes Lamb. I would have taken
CMC.
Lamb if he were there. Okay.
CMC.
I agree.
I actually have CeeDee Lamb as my 102. I understand those that want to take Bijan. I've honestly gone back and forth. If it is half PPR, I totally get going with Bijan. But honestly, man, I was just happy we weren't in a situation where we had to wonder about Justin Jefferson versus some of these other guys. Not that I'm out on Jettas or anything, but it is that spot, though, Dwain, where when I get to Jefferson at the 107, 108, it's not a slam dunk. Maybe it should be, but I don't feel like it is.
Yeah, I think it's tough, like just hearing me pause like that. I mean, the challenge is CMC, especially here, because the running backs you're being forced to take in round 4, it's like Derrick Henry just went after we picked, to give you guys an example, in round 1. And like none of these running backs are coming back to us. Like if I'll be floored, like maybe A-Chan will come because people will be worried about the injury. But we've seen people take Josh Jacobs at the very beginning of the 2nd round. We've seen Bucky Irving go right away in the 2nd round. We've seen, all of these guys that you're used to seeing at the end of round 2, especially if you're used to playing best ball, they're all gone. So in that way, it's honestly more like what you see in some of your home leagues. So I actually think these drafts are kind of useful for people, not just for the high stakes stuff, but for watching how a home league could play out. Just because, like, if you look at the ADPs right now on ESPN and Yahoo and stuff like that, they're more similar to this than they are best ball. Like, a lot more similar to this.
And this is our 4th stream. I know the first one, man, we were like, oh, look at these great wide receivers we can draft.
There goes Genty.
Round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5. And before we knew it, it was the 0 RB build of all 0 RB builds. So I was very happy with how the next 2 turned out. But yeah, guys, again, if you have been drafting throughout the summer in best ball land like Dwain and I, it really can't hit you when you are in these leagues where the running backs are just flying off the board. Not that there can't be some 0 RB value. We've seen some teams put together that were certainly nice and everything, but you just got to realize, Dwain, the DeAndre Swift in round 4 value, wouldn't exactly call that value. To be fair, it's not exactly something I'm interested in going for. So regarding A-Chan, though, obviously dealing with the calf injury, there's a CBS Sports injury analyst. Let me get his name. Marty Jaramillo, shout out Marty. He was saying that I do not expect A-Chan to be ready for week 1. I actually expect him to miss possibly the first 3 weeks of the season.
What?
Hold on. hold on. That was today. But then the doctor I usually cite, shout out Jeff Mueller at JM Thrive PT. He noted that there's 21 incidents of RB calf injuries since 2016. Only 3 of those actually wound up missing 3+ weeks. And the instances that they did were 3, 4, and 5. The rest missed 0 to 2 weeks. So as Dr. Mueller indicated, we don't know the severity. And I'm sure the other guy doesn't know the severity either. But again,
is the other guy a reporter for the Dolphins? Sorry. I know I just cut you off, but like that's really what I want to know. If the guy is actually in the Dolphins building and he's got sources there, then that, I mean, he could certainly have insight.
Sure.
But if that's not the case, I'm leaning to Mueller. Mueller, like Bueller. We'll just start saying Jeff's last name like a Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Mueller.
And I'm not saying Mike McDaniel is, I'm not sure what Coach Speak Index has his injury rating as, but he's been consistent saying, we're being, it's a precaution.
Chase Brown at the end of round 1. Sorry.
Yeah. Chase Brown balling out, man. Balling out. But yeah, long story short, we talked about it, Dwain. I'm okay drafting a Derrick Henry, drafting an Ashton Genty ahead of Devon Achane, given the fact he is actively injured. Yes. Don't lose our minds about it, though. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. And Achane went anyway in round 1. But this is playing out exactly the way we talked about. So I don't know how many of you guys ended up jumping in here. Ian and I tweeted out that we would be doing a draft tonight. Want to hang out with some of the folks that like to watch these with us or watch the other shows. It's fun to draft with you guys, even though we know you might snipe us. And there's certain players like Travion Henderson we may never get with you in a draft room, but it's still fun. So don't know how many of you are in here, but right now this is going a lot like the other draft. This actually might be the most running back heavy one I've seen in round 1. Only 3 receivers, man.
4 wide receivers. Malik Neighbors snuck in there, but yes, 8 RBs either way. BTJ, Puka Nacua coming off the board to start round 2. As always, we appreciate the other drafters over at RealTime Sports in the room with us. If we happen to say anything mean or make fun about your team, we're talking a little bit of smack here. That's what we're supposed to do on the fantasy football streets. I would not be surprised if you wind up whooping our tails by the time it's all said and done. All fun and games, so please do not take it personally. With that said, Dwain, we are 4 picks away from being up.
We're safe. We're getting one of these.
We're absolutely safe.
Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Nico Collins, Bucky Irving, Drake London. We're honestly right on the cut of the sweet spot, in my opinion. And honestly, I hope
a bit more difficult.
Yeah. So the question becomes, to me, if Amon-Ra falls to here or Nico, Amon-Ra is normally looking at our ADP tool over on Fantasy Life. Don't know if you have that up, Ian, but Amon-Ra is normally pick 11 over here. So I feel like we should take him if he makes it here. But I'll be happy with any one of these guys. And see, there goes Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, someone I've gotten in a couple of redrafts here recently. I've gotten him round 3 though. Again, I get where he's ranked.
I don't want to take Josh Jacobs in round 2. Do you?
It's tough.
There goes Nico. That was my hope and dream, honestly, that I didn't say out loud was cool. Nico.
So Amon-Ra or Bucky, we're going to let this guy make a choice for us.
Yeah.
Bucky versus Drake, I want to talk about briefly, but I lean Bucky.
Well, the one thing about round 3 is we don't like the receivers as much. There is a chance you get Hampton. There is a chance you get Trevion. After that, though, so I think the 2v2 you're talking about here is Drake London and either Kenneth Walker or James Cook versus, because say you miss on Hampton and Trevion. Let's say they're gone, right? Assume that. Yeah. Do you like that? Do you like McCaffrey and London coming back with James Cook or Kenneth Walker, or do you like going with Bucky Irving and coming back with a JSN?
I feel better about Bucky. Absolutely. And it's Bucky more so just this room, man. The running backs, you just start to not feel great about them. Once I get to Breece Hall, I'm like,
I know. And right now, like we'll have 2. So if we get totally cut off in the next round, it's like, great. We have CMC and Bucky. We really like who we have. And if we don't have to draft another one until round 8, we won't.
Let's take Bucky. We still have an elite onesie available. And we're going to draft a bunch of mid-round wide receivers again, man. I like it.
Let's do it. All right. Bucky Irving's on the squad.
By the way, we have finally received word about what a blind seal team is, Dwain. A slappy. We were being, made fun of. So It is what it is.
Well, a
They slap.
slappy isn't the slappy like an endearing term on Pete's show? Pete, now NFL analyst for the Brazil game.
How
Peter
about
Overzet.
that?
What a round of applause. Yeah. I mean, completely
Let's
deserving,
go.
funny, witty, good at fantasy football, like one of
Good
the
looking guy
hardest
too.
grinders,
Get
good
that guy
looking
in front
guy,
of the camera. Let's go.
works out.
Yeah.
I mean, Pete, like, what does Pete not have going for him? He's got it all going for him. So very, very happy to see him get that
I saw
opportunity.
someone.
He's going to hang out with freaking Cam Newton. Maybe he can work in a Spark Notes, somewhere.
Dude, I saw someone saying Pete's got to get his feet on the ground, like go across to the, favelas in Brazil, try to see what people are thinking on the streets about the game.
Man on the street.
I just retweeted his original fantasy football podcast intro video. Maybe the best TikTok ever made to this day. So if you guys have not seen that yet, check out at Hartitz. I have retweeted that complete work of art from Pete like 5 years ago. So truly hilarious. Here we are, the RealTime Sports, though. Again, guys, picking out of the 7th spot in my prime, just like Mr. Doc Holliday, Dwain. This time of year, man, I just got to get Tombstone back up there. I'm going to try to do it this weekend. So started off with Christian McCaffrey and then Bucky Irving. Love being able to get CMC again at the 107. I know a lot of people have been willing to pick him as high as, honestly, 102, 103. So cool stuff there. Bucky Irving versus Amon-Ra St. Brown was kind of our predicament. Ended up not being an issue because our one true Sun God went one pick before. So starting off with the 2 RB build. Again, we'll see how the board falls. If we end up going 3 RBs to start, if it is the right one, I could see it. Otherwise, probably about to draft a lot of wide receivers, potentially an elite onesie. That elite onesie will not be Brock Bowers, though. He went 2 picks later. So it is this weird situation, Dwayne, where and this happens all the time, man. I've noticed it with Travis Hunter too. Like, no one should be doubting the talent of Brock Bowers, but when people are like, just draft him, he's Brock Bowers in round 2. It's like, yeah, I get that. But he's Drake London. He's A.J. Brown. He's Bucky Irving. Like, there's some really freaking good players going in the middle of round 2. And again, it's just more of a situation where I think, again, investing that highly in Bowers when you do have the Trey McBrides and George Kittles of the world going a round or 2 later, it's enough for us, man, not to be going out of our way for him thus far.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, we really like him, but I think he's an end of the round 2 pick. It's tough to get him up in the top half, just because if you really do think about his upside ceiling case scenario, it's going to be tough for us to look up at the end of the year and say that Brock Bowers had 100 catches and 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns. And the receivers like Nico Collins can get to that a lot easier. They can access that ceiling. And so that doesn't mean Brock Bowers is a bad player. Brock Bowers could challenge someone like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ladd McConkey, those kind of more reception. Amon-Ra, obviously, the last couple of years has scored the touchdowns too. But he's a low ADOT player, gets a lot of targets underneath, and that's not necessarily bad, especially in a PPR. But going back historically, the average tight end, the best ones that were at his ADOT with the kind of target share he has, were averaging 6 touchdowns. So it's hard to score 6 touchdowns and be like a league winner, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to score like 12. Now, most of the guys, if you go back and look historically, that have been those 11, 12 touchdown scores and also had those target shares at tight end, they're the ones that broke fantasy football. That's Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce earlier. Now he's a lower ADOT player. Jimmy Graham back in the day. Mark Andrews, the year he went absolutely apeshit. Go look at his average depth of target. Leading the team in targets, also getting big catches down the seam. So not to say Bowers couldn't do that more. Like, I think he's a good enough player. It's just, will they use him that way? Because really they have Jacoby Myers to work that intermediate area of the field right behind him. Then they theoretically have Thornton Jr. there to help take the top off the defense. So, it's I really like him, but I think, the ceiling scenario, the floor scenario, I think is really strong. And I think his median projection is really strong, just not quite the ceiling of a few of the other players in the middle of round 2, in my humble opinion. There goes Trevion. Those days are over, Ian, the days of Trevion.
Trevion, Omarion Hampton, and Kyron Williams at the 2-3 turn. Last point on Bowers. I mean, you could say, Dwayne, and I think it's very reasonable to say, I mean, the touchdown regression could be hitting strong. Last year, only 2 players had at least 7 targets inside the 10-yard line with 0 touchdowns on those targets. Brock Bowers with 8 and George Pickens with 7. So again, I did not go back and watch every single one of those targets, but you put Geno Smith out there. Again, you add, hopefully, to Dwayne's point, a little, some guys on the outside, hopefully being some big time threats, and we'll see what happens. Do you see Geno Smith gave Trey Tucker the Santana Moss comp? I'm intrigued, Dwayne.
Dude, come on, Geno. Against air, you had a coach out there covering him. Trey Tucker is not Santana Moss in his wildest dreams. This dude's been in the league 2 years. What is like the best? His best has been like a 14% targets per route run or something. Come on, man, Geno, get out of here.
Dwayne, you are not wrong, and your process is great. I know you grinded the numbers and the correlation between targets per route run makes sense, but it just continues to kill me when you're like, get a load of this average ass player, 13% targets per route run. What are we doing out here? So again, you're not wrong, but it will never cease to make me chuckle.
Well, the way I look at it, I love the film grinders. I like to watch film too. I don't consider myself to be an expert, but I think that 99% of the time, the quarterbacks that have already played with these receivers are already telling you whether they're good or not, because they study the film, they install a game plan with them all week. And guess how you know? They throw them the football. That's how you know. So if no one has thrown him the football yet in the NFL, he's probably not good. Occasionally, there are exceptions like Juwan Jennings last year, but he had been playing behind Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle and CMC. So even when he got his chance to play, there's a bunch of other guys, and I'm rambling on here, and we're about to be faced with a big decision because some really good picks in front of us. Trevion being gone, Jackson Smith and Jigba being gone. Hey, good luck, take the cheese. You think you're taking the cheese, but you're not.
There's Alvin Kamara. That's fine. All right, Dwayne, we can take an elite QB of our choice, George Kittle or T. Higgins.
I think we wait on the elite QB just because of how far we've seen him fall in here.
Yeah.
And I think we wait on Kittle because we've seen him fall back. I think we take one of these wide receivers.
Let's go with T. Higgins, man. We've seen.
I like taking T. Higgins. I don't have him very often. In the middle of round 2, we've waited. 3. I think let's just do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, sorry, middle of round 3. Yeah, duh. All right, it's either that or James Cook or Kenneth Walker.
No, I want T. Higgins.
All right, I'm good with it. I like it.
The dude was a wide receiver 5 PPR points per game. These Bengals games we already saw last year. Now Trey Hendrickson could be traded. Like, it can go from being 35-34 every week to 45-44 every week.
Yeah, we just need to stay healthy. That's the main thing.
Only wide receivers you want more than the Bengals ones or whoever's playing the Bengals. So, I mean, yeah, you need to stay healthy. I fully get it. But, more or less, again, I mean, these Bengals contracts, man, you would have thought once you finally forked up all that money to Burrow and Chase that you just kind of quit effing around so much. But even the Higgins deal is basically this 1 year, $25 million or so deal that they can get out of should they feel the need. So again, one of the more damning stats I have found is that T. Higgins has a hamstring injury of some shape or size every single year, going back to even 2019 when he was still at Clemson. But my God, once that dude is out there, it's going to be really tough to rank, more than 12 guys ahead of him during any given week of action. So again, based on the fact that no QBs have gone just yet, always love George Kittle. I love George Kittle in round 4 more than round 3. And just given that we started 2 running backs around, I do think it was important for us to get a stub wide receiver like Higgins.
I agree. And I haven't drafted a ton of Higgins this year because on Underdog, he goes in a different place. He goes at the beginning of round 2 for the most part. And so again, like, here goes DeAndre Swift, guys.
Jesus.
And this is what honestly makes it so challenging to go 0 running back. You think you're going to catch a break and later you're going to get to tack on your running backs. Nope. You're not. These folks Ian and I learned. Now, don't be wrong. I want to try another 0 RB team because I do believe the way everybody's building over here, it really could be the way to win one of these tournaments. It's the way to build a team that's different. But you're going to need to get a little bit lucky in the draft room that you're in. I also think you need to be drafting from the middle position, which team number 5 is doing. They've gone Justin Jefferson, Drake London, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's a really good 3 wide receiver start in a PPR league. Like, you're going to love starting all 3 of those guys every single week. So they have the right kind of wide receivers. I'll be interested to see if they take their medicine, though, and get a running back. Like, they're probably going to be aiming for an elite quarterback, an elite onesie coming back. And then they're going to try to take their first running back in round 5. Unless like an RJ Harvey makes it to him, I could see them taking that here. But you got to get a little lucky, man, and to get these folks to slow down on the running backs. I mean, the DeAndre Swift in round 3 is the perfect example of how nutty it gets over here.
It's one of those situations where, again, I think we're accustomed to believing that, okay, if I go into round 5 or round 6, all right, I can get a DeAndre Swift or a David Montgomery or an Isaiah Pacheco. Not over here. So, again, that's why we like doing these streams for you guys actually in the streets. As great as mock drafts are, by the way, Fantasy Life Draft Champion is a free tool for you guys to go ahead and use that. We do have the thing speeding up, looking good lately, so make sure you check that out if you're trying to get some extra reps in. But, again, no practice is really going to replace actively being in here in those draft streets. So again, even if you guys look at some of our picks and say that is freaking dumb, I wouldn't have done that. Good for you for watching and getting that rep. We appreciate it. Throw a like on there if you are so inclined. Also, Dwayne, we do have a very special prize going on for our Fantasy Life Plus subscribers, guys. Anyone who is a Fantasy Life Plus subscriber will be involved for this. We are going to select one person to get $1,000 in underdog credits. That's right, $1,000 in underdog credits. If you're already a Fantasy Life Plus subscriber, first of all, thank you, and you are already good to go, so good luck to you. If not, you do need to subscribe by 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, at which time the drawing will take place. Hey, if you want to get 20% off that sub, you can use code Dwayne, code Ian. If you just keep typing in random names, maybe you can even get more than 20% off. But again, $1,000 in underdog credits to a Fantasy Life Plus subscriber. Going to happen this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, no, you're doing
As
great.
I say that,
what you just did? You just locked Matt Swing, our producer, into publishing this tomorrow morning, is what you just did. So Swing is really going to love you whenever you let him know about this. But hey, you're trying to do the people right. No one can blame you for it. So if you guys don't get to see this until Saturday, which is normally whenever we publish these, just ignore everything Ian said, but just know that in our hearts, the intent is still there, right? And that's what matters, is that we love you guys.
I was feeling really good about my.
You did a great job,
Dwayne. And then about 80% through, I realized that I wasn't sure when this was going to be pumped, and I started laughing to myself. So I think we're going to try to do another one of these on Thursday, so we can use that one for Saturday. We'll hopefully get Swing or whoever to turn this one around quickly. But we're getting into round 4 here on a real-time sports draft. The top 2 quarterbacks have gone off the board: Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. And there goes George Kittle. So looking like another wide receiver for us. Dwayne, that said, Mr. Kenneth Walker could be calling our name.
If Kenneth Walker gets here, I'm even willing to take RJ Harvey, just because when we look at our running back tier, right?
Yep.
And what happens after Harvey and then going on down, I think you could honestly make another little tier break, like right there at James Conner and Chuba, but with Kamara. But man, I'm not crazy about where you have to take all those other guys. At least with Kenneth Walker and Harvey, I can tell myself a massive upside story. You know what I mean?
And look, if we were starting 3 wide, and this is another really important thing, and I know you harp on it at the beginning of all your awesome strategy articles, free at fantasylife.com, by the way. But when you're playing a 3 wide receiver starting league, that's a situation we probably do need to play catch up and go ahead and get another wide receiver. But 2 wide receivers, we can live with that.
Yeah. Now, we're hoping to avoid the injuries that can sometimes come. With the running backs. So that's an obvious concern. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with building the heavy running back build. There goes Devontae Adams. Is there a wide receiver here? And I'm just looking at these teams to the left. I think they're pretty sharp. A lot of the wide receivers I think we got to fall to us the other night, I don't think we're getting in this draft. But there's still a really big tier here of guys. There goes Joe Burrow, which I was kind of hoping would hang around. So I think it's Kenneth Walker, RJ Harvey, Jaden Daniels. I think that's the list.
Yeah, I don't see Tedero McMillan as our number 1 guy.
He's not going to make it back to us, but he's dealing with a hand. I mean, I will take Tet right here. I love him.
Tedero.
Walker, Tedero, I don't care. I just, whatever. It's shorter. Teteroa.
Mrs. McMillan.
Teteroa McMillan.
T-Mac. T-Mac.
So, Kenneth Walker falling here.
Kenneth Walker. Let's go. I'm in. Honestly, we have the 2 guys where it's like Christian McCaffrey and Kenneth Walker. Well, what if they get hurt? What if they freaking don't, Dwayne? What if they freaking don't?
You know, if they get hurt, we're going to tell our team they don't even need to practice and that just do not worry about it. But that's okay.
We'll be off to Cancun in November.
Yeah. I feel so old school drafting over here. You know how long it's been since I've taken 3 running backs in the first 4 rounds? Well, I think actually last week. But before that...
It's fun, dude.
Yeah, I didn't like Joe Burrow going. I was kind of hoping Burrow would hang around for our Higgins.
Round 5 Burrow would have been provocative.
Yeah, this guy right here is considering. He's like, man, do I take RJ Harvey? Do I take RJ Harvey?
Do it.
Or do I take the cheese, get RJ Harvey with his awesome 3 wide receivers?
We got some good names.
Take RJ Harvey. He's taking Take the cheese is taking McMillan or Jaden Daniels if this guy does not take RJ Harvey.
Travis Swift on the clock. We got Mrs.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wow.
Come on.
Right, yeah. Got his second wide receiver. Maserati Marv. At Ohio State briefly, Dwain, they were calling Marv Route Man Marv. They don't call him Route Man Marv too much these days.
Route Man Marv, yeah. It's low separation Marv. I'm sorry. That's mean. We only get the clips we get are all we get. Like so but I told you Jaden Daniels. That's how you build a 0 RB team. You take the 3 wide receivers and then you go ahead and tack on that freaking awesome I made Jaden Daniels green on our sheet because I really love him that much, but I'm gonna have to gray him out.
Damn.
There goes Mike
One
Evans.
day. We saw him go around 5 a couple of these, didn't we?
Twice, yeah. Hey, Jalen Hurts could come back to us.
Probably not, but you can imagine. That AJ.
You can imagine a world where he did. I like that pick by take the cheese because really you're forced into that or Harvey. There goes RJ Harvey. And so here's the problem. Like if you are a 0 running back drafter, you probably don't like a lot of the names that you're going to be forced to look at in round 5. Because you're used to taking these guys in round 7 or 8. Dave Montgomery, Isaiah Pacheco, Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy. It's rough, man. These guys are all about to go. We saw what round did we see Tyrone Tracy go in last time? I think it was like round 6 or something.
Early round 6.
Now Chuba Hubbard and James Conner, if one of those came back to me and I was sitting there knowing how these drafts go and I already had 3 receivers plus my elite quarterback, I would eat my vegetables and I would take one of those 2. I don't like eating my vegetables. I had to do it in my home league this weekend and my dynasty league because Anthony Richardson, it's a super flex and he's my QB2. And I had to take Daniel Jones in like round 10. So there's a certain amount of veterans that get released back into the pool every year. We protect like 36 guys. And I told everybody, I said, this is going to make you all sick. But I just I have to eat my vegetables here. And I'm glad I did. Look at this. We've already got Daniel Jones named the starting quarterback.
What a time to be.
There goes Chuba.
Apparently with a season-long leash, I'm with you where I think it's more of a, hey, why would you say anything different unless you just want to be pestered about it week by week. But I will say Anthony Richardson's agent coming out and immediately being like, we don't know what our long-term future is here anymore. Like, I don't know, man. Could have maybe kept that private.
Yeah.
I'm not an agent, but I'm not sure exactly what your leverage is right now unless you're actively just trying to lead the team. But we'll see dude, it's Daniel Jones. I know you lost the competition, but have you watched that guy play? Like, you're going to get another chance, Anthony Richardson. Just freaking, like Dwayne said, eat your vegetables, chill out, and, wait for your time to come.
James Conner gone.
Dwayne, it amazes me some of the stuff that gets out. I was tweeting the other day, as I'm known to do, about just like, again, the Washington Commanders, man, my entire life, this team has been a complete joke. The Dan Snyder era, just laughing stock. They didn't have a playoff win until, last year, obviously. But then before that was 2006, 2007 or something ridiculous. And it's like, oh my gosh, new ownership. Oh my gosh, we finally found a quarterback in Jaden Daniels. We make the freaking NFC championship. Brandon Ayuk and all these other players, like, we want to go to Washington. And all of a sudden, you're having pissing contests with literally your top 2 producers from last season, and Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson. And I understand Brian Robinson is a dirt average running back. If they wanted to cut him in July, I'd be like, wow, that's kind of interesting, but whatever. They can find that value, sure. Why do you have to be doing all this with Brian Robinson publicly 2 weeks before the season? Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't think that Brian Robinson's necessarily this special player, but it's to your point, like with all this stuff so late. But here's what I think is happening. Brian Robinson is not happy because of how much work Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is getting, and he sees a 3-way committee on the horizon, and he hasn't gotten paid.
Here.
He's ready for his contract, and I mean, I get it. Like, you've done the grunt work, you've played hard. Now you've battled some injuries, but like he's been a good performer for where he got drafted as an NFL draft pick. Like Brian Robinson Jr. has been a good player. Like if you take that into consideration, so I get why he's upset. The problem is, man, your agent ought to know as a running back, especially with the injury history he's had, you really don't have any leverage, man. Like you just don't. Like you really need to go out there and just ball out and focus on like what you like to say all the time, control the controllables. And you don't know, man. Like people get hurt all the time. People get hurt all the time in this game, and it could be down to you, and you get your career year. So I don't blame Brian Robinson for feeling that way. I just don't really know what recourse he has, because I don't think anyone is going to trade very much for him.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's I think it's going to be tough to get a sign and trade if that's what he's hoping for.
I don't know why the Bears just don't freaking swap like 7th round picks or something at this
Ricky
point.
Pearsall at the beginning of round 5. Thoughts?
Slick Ricky Bullets. We'll work on it. Workshop it. A little early, but I mean, I like him. That's definitely a lot early. I mean, I'm taking T-Mac, Xavier Worthy, Jameson Williams, George Pickens. The list goes on. That's a little aggressive, but you know what? He wanted to get his guy. Obviously, I mean, I don't think Parasol.
That's why I'm just asking. Nothing against it. Like, hey, go get, like you said, go get your guy. He likes wide receivers. He's got Ladd McConkey and Ricky Pearsall.
Exciting whites. Here we go. Team 2.
We'll see if he gets Adam Thielen. We'll see who else has he got to work in there, Ian.
Dude, I sent I was goofing around in June. I was like, I just tried to find ADP for like 10 white guys. And I was like, what do you guys think about this draft? And sent a tweet. It was just 10 white guys to start, like three tight ends, 2 quarterbacks, and just the amount of like earnest, like, man, what are you thinking here? Taking 3 tight ends in the first 10 rounds.
Look at that draft strategy. Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Trey McBride, elite tight end, RJ Harvey, and Jalen Hurts. So elite tight end and elite quarterback. I don't absolutely hate it. It's going to get tough at wide receiver. There goes your boy Calvin Ridley. I had him in the queue.
I'll say Mrs. Mia Wallace not happy that they lost the AJB Jalen Hurts stack by 1 to that squad. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, but yeah, look, the 0 RB
there goes
team.
Pacheco.
Like, there's Pacheco, which probably the right pick there.
Yep. So 0 RB team has Pacheco now on the squad. So they did take their vegetables. And I will tell you, we've been in your shoes, and we did not want to take Isaiah Pacheco. We did not eat our vegetables. Our mom tried to feed them to us. We said no or turn our head. Ian was like, wouldn't open his mouth. Like it was
they tried the helicopter. It didn't work.
Yeah, they tried to say, they even said, choo, choo. Yeah, it didn't matter.
Airplane. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Tet McMillan, baby, came all the way back to us.
T-Mac. Just real quick. What's the ADP between T-Mac and Worthy? Is it?
McMillan's ahead.
Okay. We got time. We're good. Just want to check.
Remember Worthy we got in round 7 last time.
I'm seeing. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, you got to just flip it over to wide receiver to make it easier.
Yeah, let's go T-Mac. Cool.
Yeah, all right. I was going to say, man, because I was like, I couldn't honestly believe it. I think we just may have gotten a little bit of an injury discount. He's been gone by this point in the other drafts.
Don't love hamstring injuries going on.
I don't either, but I was reading about it, and it sounds more like, hey, we're just going to rest him. We're not going to push it. But it didn't sound like one of these, oh my God, this is going to. Now, you don't always know because coaches, don't always tell us the truth. Not really incentivized to. Look how good we feel. We've got the 3 running backs. We got 2 wide receivers we like. Fine. Shut Tetaroa McMillan down for 2 weeks. I don't care. I don't even care. I'm still just glad to have him on my team.
It is being described as minor, which I will take after drafting the guy. So it certainly seems like a guy where, again,
now.
I forget how so many shows going this year. I always forget who I was talking to about it. Could have been with you. Could have been with anyone at this point. But like, it might have been Jake Celia. I think Jake was a little bit down on. Oh yeah, that's right. It was on the Pat Mayo show. Jake was down on T-Mac, saying that
Jake is wrong.
Well, and my comeback was like, look, if we look up in week 15 and T-Mac's already approaching like 140 targets, are we going to be shocked? I would not be.
No, this dude is a baller, high-end target earner in college. There's low target competition overall. Bryce Young showing signs at the end of last year. Like, you're on deck? What was that?
We're good. You know what I love about T-Mac too, Dwain, is he can actually, like, he's not this, you see his size, you see a contested catches, and you're like, oh, this guy even have any wiggle. Oh, yeah. 29 missed tackles forced last year. Malik Neighbors and Luther Burden had 30 in their last season. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 5. Like, it's one of these things where, again, more than Travis Hunter, more than Roma Dunze, more than Worthy, more than BTJ, more than Emeka Buka had 10. All right. T-Mac can move, man. This dude is an elite alpha number 1. And the fact he went 8 to Carolina, hey, everyone loves jerking off those, Los Angeles Rams, Sean McVay, Les Snead stuff. Do you see the one where they want to go trade up and get them some T-Mac? Well, we just got some T-Mac in round 5, baby.
Exactly. He's a very good player. I really don't know what the argument against T-Mac is, especially given his ADP. Jake, I love him. He's off his rocker. You guys can go tell him.
It was, to be fair, Jake, the segment was bold calls that we don't want to be held responsible for.
Gotcha. So, Krosky Merritt. There you go, bud. In round 5.
Oh my God.
There goes Bill.
You see the vision on that touchdown run, Dwain? Just
on the wide open lane.
The cutback, the
don't be wrong. Agility. Hey, I like Bill. I don't want to take Bill in round 5. Now, here's what I will say. I do think Bill is the reason that Brian Robinson Jr. wants to leave. So I do hear some people getting it twisted, and they're saying, well, Austin Eckler, Austin Eckler's going to be in the same role. Well, Chris Rodriguez got the first drive. I even wrote about it this morning doing the recap from last night's games. Chris Rodriguez has been released from this team. And the last year, he got waived from this team and picked back up.
That's a great point.
He is not the reason Brian Robinson Jr. wants to leave. Bill is the reason he wants to leave. So that's the positive thing in my mind. Also, the story which you did such a great job of really explaining, which is the fact that he had this weird thing whenever he transferred to do with his number and stuff. And it really hurt his draft stock. He didn't get to play, didn't get invited to the combine. And the film,
like if he was round 4 instead of round 7, would we be freaking out like this? I don't think
we wouldn't. And so again, I don't, if this is the price now, I'll just take him in best ball because he's not this expensive yet. He's the kind of guy though, if I were take the cheese, I would be hoping I was getting in like round 7. Yeah. And that's now gone. So yeah.
I'm mostly just taking my lumps. I'm going to fade more 7th round running backs than not. He was the intriguing, unique enough situation to potentially break that rule. And when you're a last round pick, I totally get it in the depth chart and everything. So again, my bigger takeaway is just, even with someone like Brian Robinson, where you can talk yourself, well, he's not in the dead zone because he's cheap enough. It's like, well, is that still someone you should be investing in anyway when there are still players worth a damn on the board? So obviously learned that the answer was a resounding no this season at least. But Dwain, we're about to be on the clock here.
Seems like away, man. I hope
fine. One of these guys.
Yeah, we've got Worthy, Waddle, or Hunter. I moved Waddle above Hunter because we have Hunter so much, but I am not afraid to take Hunter.
I'm fine. The Worthy afraidness is kind of wild to me in drafts. Like I continuously see him later.
Yeah. For whatever reason over here, I'm hoping it's Worthy.
Right bro, here. Like what if Rashee Rice is out and Worthy and Mahomes just connect on a couple more of those deep balls? Right. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
All right. Xavier Worthy.
There goes Igbuka.
Come on down.
And it's thing with man, talk about a guy that just everything keeps breaking right, though.
I was about to say, so hey, hand up. I'm not here to. I love Jake Seeley. It's been great to talk to him. He had an awesome appearance on the Fantasy Life show. My personal hot take thing at the end, that was a judgment-free zone, was that I thought Emeka Buka had a chance to finish like outside the top 50, was going to be closer to an average wide receiver than a great one. But man, now Chris Godwin's going to miss a month, 6 weeks potentially. Jalen McMillan's out till week 9. It's all of a sudden become a situation where like everyone that was just drafting him based on the talent profile in June.
Getting
you guys
off.
could have been 100% right the whole time. I'm not trying to take that away from you or anyone else, but
it worked out.
Like, oh, well, we don't have to worry about that now because now just based on the targets being afforded to the guy.
In drafts, you do need those things to work out for you. When we first started taking him, the whole thing was you're taking a talented player in round 9 of fantasy drafts. Like he's a round 1 wide receiver that should not be going in round 1 because people are overly certain about the way that this offense is going to work out. And there could be injuries. There's just a lot of things, or he could just be so good he forces more targets his way. So
and again, I've talked to you about this where I think part of it is just so many freaking great Ohio State wide receivers is skewing a still very freaking good one. I just think, again, if Emeka Egbuka was in backyard football and they just kind of have their 5 or 6 base rating things, I think he's a 6 or 7 out of 10 in everything. And maybe that's enough to still be an 8 or a 9.
I think he has enough to play the Chris Godwin role.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like right away.
And again,
I feel like this is a great fit.
Chris Godwin is not the Chris Godwin role is wide open because Chris Godwin, who knows when he's going to be back. So again, I totally get it. I adjusted the ranks recently. He's inside my top 35, I believe now. So should have been the party sooner. I'm happy you were, Dwain.
Yeah, I mean, it's where he goes now in drafts. You need the stuff that's happened. I mean, the other night, I think we got him in round 7. So obviously the pup news has happened since then around Godwin. Mm-hmm. And so that's moved him up another round here. There goes Rashee Rice to the hero RB team. Jahmyr Gibbs, AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Rashee Rice. Don't mind that.
Yeah, I do. Like that's when you take Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
So that's a good call there. Still someone that, man, the range of outcomes just seems.
But when you have him, and like you said,
Sue,
that's the build to do it. You rather take. I'm kind of surprised David Montgomery is still available. To be honest, like how's he available over here?
I was hoping Matthew Golden might slide. Hey, Sue Robinson, maybe cancel a few lunches so we can get this Rashee Rice underway. This is the biggest joke I've ever heard, Dwain. September 30th, because that's when it fits in the Sue Robinson schedule. We
need a new judge.
Shuck and break.
Yeah, like you got to know that whoever is your judge can like prioritize what the hell, the NFL.
Can we move something around?
Yeah.
I can double book sometimes. I'm able to move things around.
Well, I got this divorce proceeding I got to see over. I mean,
like how long is this expected to take?
I don't know. I don't understand. Dude, everything with our government works slow. If you're a government worker, God bless you. But man, it's rough.
The answer might very well be the NFL is like, we don't want him gone for these sweet games at the beginning of the year. I don't know. Again, that answer is just so freaking wild.
I think it's just the answer. They want to suspend him for 10 games. And the Chiefs said, whoa. There's no precedent for this. We're going to need to have this thing arbitrated.
So, Dwain, I would like to, and I'll go ahead and slide across our Google sheet that we are working with. You guys can find cool Fantasy Life cheat sheets and rankings over at fantasylife.com. We actually recorded I thought, very nice podcast episode, Fantasy Life show, however you consume our media, about quarterback and tight end strategy. And we basically were going on about kind of avoiding this mid-round, quarterback, tight end. I will say if Mahomes is sitting there for us, that would be very, very interesting. But otherwise, I'm with you. Dave Montgomery would be interesting. Likely going to be avoiding these running backs. If not, Jalen Waddle would be freaking awesome. Otherwise, Roma Dunze, Chris Olave, Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Jerry Jeudy. That's kind of the tier where after that, man, it does start to drop off. I'm okay buying into Jordan Addison and Jaden Reed. I'm a little less enthused about Godwin mostly. I'm okay with Downs and
I think you're right. I think there's a little mini tier break right there with Addison and Reed. Actually, Shakir should be in it. I mean, well,
that's what I'm saying. And Downs is okay. I think I haven't heard too much about it.
Oh man, Tyler Warren in round 7. Jesus.
Wow, not getting him.
It's turning that's the same guy. Yeah, that's the guy that took Trevion and Ricky Pearsall. Yeah.
Dude knows what he's doing. He's getting his guys. Win.
I can almost guarantee you he is somebody that got into this draft whenever we tweeted it.
He's just sitting there cackling, probably enjoying a Kona Big Wave. Shout out. All right, we're moving now, boy. Let's go. David Montgomery's still on the freaking board. Dwain, I don't really want him, though. Jalen Waddle is gone.
Yeah, the one thing really with Montgomery is the contingency upside is.
Oh, I get it. And honestly, we don't want him, but it's round 7 over here. Like, we're not going to take him before this.
No. Okay, so I've got Olave and Debo over there.
Debo did look good the other night. I know it's preseason, but it was good to see him looking a little bit explosive again. I will say that.
We are round 7. The other option would be go ahead and get a tight end. I'm fine with Laporta in round 7. I don't want Laporta in round 5.
I feel the same way about David Montgomery. I kind of think we go D-Mont.
Okay, let's take him. I'm with you. I don't think we ever draft him because he.
Dude, DeAndre Swift went round 3.
I know. If Jahmyr Gibbs went down tomorrow, knock on wood, never want it to happen, we're ranking David Montgomery inside the top 6 all those weeks.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And he's injury protection against Kenneth against these other guys. We've got 3 wide receivers.
Man, but like Montgomery has 25 touchdowns the last 2 years. They just gave him a freaking extension last season. Cool.
I already took him.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm cool. I thought you were saying, all right, go ahead, take him.
Zach Charbonnet.
You already talked about it. Yeah. I mean, it's like David Montgomery is Zach Charbonnet on steroids from hell. He actually gets to play for sure. And if his starter went down, he's just as good of a handcuff as Charbonnet.
I think that dude might have just been pissed that we took D-Mont. So then he was like, well, I'm going to take your Kenneth Walker handcuff, even though we weren't going to take Charbonnet anyway. But
yeah. Good luck, Chuck.
I will say, Dwain, when I've been doing, a lot of underdog, I don't think I've ever been in a draft with 102. I have never let the 101 guy get T. Higgins at the 2-3 turn. I take him every single time.
And you take Joe Burrow too.
Not necessarily even Joe Burrow, but I'm not going to let them get Chase, Higgins, Burrow. Like, I'm going to take Higgins.
I'm more try to keep Burrow away, but yeah.
You take him naked?
I feel you.
Or like round it back later with Yoshavash or Jasicki or someone.
Diggs? Yeah, Stephon Diggs. Yeah, I'm sorry. You know me. I get worse at keeping up with the sheet as we go.
Understandable. What are we drinking?
Oh, hey man, I didn't think Debo looked fat and slow.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And this is the perfect scheme for him. I would actually like Debo on a team. There goes Laporta. So this guy could make it tougher on us because we can't wait forever at tight end. I do not want to get locked out. So I've got Hawkinson and Ingram in the queue. Because we're also going to have to take a quarterback soon. So that's the thing we got to remember. When you build like we've built right now, which is 4 running backs and 3 receivers, so we haven't touched the onesie positions, it all feels fine, and you just keep taking the other stuff, and suddenly you're in round 9, you're like, oh my God, we need both. And then you're praying that something you don't want to be having to draft 3 at both spots. Is my point. You want to have one of them. You need scene control for one of them.
I hear you. And that would be ideal. But if one of these wide receivers is still available, like I want to take them. Olave or Debo? Where would you draw the line with the wide receivers where you want to take a tight end?
So for me, honestly, I'm very willing to take Hawkinson, Ingram, or Njoku here.
I'm a Mahomes,
so here's the thing. Like Evan Ingram could be 80 catches for like 800 yards. That's probably what we're hoping for from Chris Olave, Deebo Samuel, and Juwan Jennings. Right? I'm not going to say their ceiling is not higher. Do what?
Patrick Mahomes in round 8 with Xavier Worthy. Can confirm he's still available. The Kelsey team might snag him right before us.
I just feel so much better about the quarterbacks later than the tight ends.
I know what happened
when it comes to having to start them, man. I just feel way better about these tight ends starting every week versus if we get ourselves in a jam. And I love Loveland. I'm going to want him on this team, but if I got to start Colston Loveland on week 1 or Dallas Goedert or Jake Ferguson, man. I don't know. I feel a lot better about Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes than I do Jake Ferguson versus Evan Ingram.
I'm gonna disagree with you there. I don't know. Sean Payton, man, you look at the tight ends. Jimmy Graham was a superhero. I get it. That's the only top 5 tight end he's ever had.
Yeah, but dude, all of his other ones have sucked. And he look, the one other athletic one he had was Ben Watson, and look what he did with him.
He was like tight end 8.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Like, I really don't buy. So here's your problem with me. I don't buy that stuff around coaches, blah, blah, blah. If we go look at the history of the tight ends that Sean Payton has had, the only good one he's ever really had is Jimmy Graham. He's not had great tight ends. So, of course, he hasn't featured his tight end.
Slander aside. No,
Colby Fleener sucks. So we can set that aside. Colby Fleener was a seam stretcher that just never turned into more. A nice, speedy guy, but he got drafted based off of, probably just off some draft hype coming out behind Zach Ertz, from Stanford. So is what it is. There goes
Scatterbo. I'm just happy we're good at running back right now, because I can't imagine not be.
And Debo went. There goes Joe Mixon. I'm telling you, dude, people are petrified of Jawan Jennings now. He may fall back.
So you don't think we could get one of Hawkinson, Ingram, Njoku, Andrews, Kraft in round 9? We got 3 teams. I think I really like this team. Me too. We're flexing running back and a good wide receiver already. I feel way better about starting Hawkinson or Ingram. There goes Olave. So I think it's easy now. I think it is a tight end. Okay, but bro, what does ADP say about Mahomes versus these guys? Because I've never seen Mahomes here in round 8.
I know, man. I just
think there's a better chance we could have our cake and eat it too.
I don't. But we can do it.
There's 3 teams between us and
the thing is, if Patrick Mahomes goes, I honestly don't care. Like, I'm fine because I'm so comfortable with Brock Purdy and all these other guys.
What happened to you waking up with cold sweats about Mahomes being the cheapest ever and this dude's the best quarterback ever? And we have Worthy.
If Hawkinson, Ingram, and Njoku go, like it's fine, man. We can take him. I'll let you have the tiebreaker tonight. If it were up to me, I would take one of these tight ends right here.
I don't think there is a discernible, however the hell you say that word.
Discernible.
Yeah. I don't think it's a given Hawkinson outscores Mark Andrews this year.
I think I feel way better about it though. Doesn't have to rotate and all that stuff. So
I want to go for it, Dwain. Patrick Mahomes. Can we do it? Can I pull I want to draft this guy card?
Yeah. We all get to pull it occasionally. That's what we have it for. And look, if we're going to do it, let's do it with Mahomes. He's on the team.
Thank you, sir. And now watches 8 tight ends go flying off the board.
Oh, you're not getting any of the ones I just named. Yeah. But it's fine. It's fine.
Like we said, the one quarterback that I'm okay going the mid-tier with is Mahomes. In round 8, dude.
No, dude. It's fine. It really is. I like him. I just know how I feel about Purdy and these other guys. I feel so fine starting them. I like the upside of Tucker Kraft. I don't know that I'm going to like starting him. I like the upside of Colston Loveland. Don't know that I'm going to like starting him. I like the idea of Dalton Kincaid, Dallas Goedert, and Jake Ferguson. I think it could be an absolute freaking nightmare. But Brock Purdy, I feel pretty good. I'm going to plug him in and get 18 to 20 points and just not have to worry about it. So
how about really, this, though? For Mahomes, I just want you to be excited about round 8 Mahomes. I want you to be excited about round 8 Mahomes.
I am.
If we had taken McBride in round 3, you would be thrilled right now.
Yeah,
I know it's not, but it's different.
No, it's fine. It's because it's Mahomes that we're doing it. There's nobody else that we would have done it for at the quarterback spot. And who knows, maybe we get lucky. The thing is, we've seen these guys double up at tight end, and that's the problem over here.
We got timeout.
Amanda will be rooting for this team big time.
And there we go.
He timed
happy wife, happy life.
He's going to be asking to pause the draft, and he's going to want to give that back.
Did he drop his iPad? That's still the.
To make it very clear to everyone, Ian and I, like, we're pretty much, there goes Ingram. We're pretty much in sync on most of these things. And so we do allow each other to have tiebreakers, and I feel like I get them a lot of the time. So I want to be fair. And if there is a quarterback I'm making that decision for, it's the one that we just took. So,
yep.
I am happy, and this will be my one team that Amanda roots for more than anyone, because she loves Patrick Mahomes, because our son went to Texas Tech, and then obviously just because the Chiefs win, and she enjoys watching a winner. What can I say?
He's gonna be on primetime, man. That's
there you go.
I love my wife Julia. I think after the first year or two we were dating, she got me this Mahomes Alone Christmas sweater, and she was so excited about it. And she told my best friend Danny about it before, and was like, "I got Ian's favorite player. I got this hoodie here, or this sweatshirt." And he was like, "Oh, like what Cowboys singing do you get?" And she was like, "Patrick Mahomes." And I was like, "Well, Julia, just because Mahomes is always on our TV doesn't necessarily mean he's my favorite player." Okay.
There goes Hawkinson double tap to the McBride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
And
Big
see, the problem, the other thing that was doing it to me is Tyler Warren's gone. If Tyler Warren's still on the board like he normally is, it's like, okay, wheels up. I will say this. If Colston Loveland comes back, I just don't want to mess around with it. I want to take the guy with the biggest upside, and then we'll figure out what other guy is going to start to begin the year.
Over
and Njoku's we have taking him. I just know Njoku's not. I'm not even going to tell myself Njoku's going to be there.
No, that's fine.
Mark Andrews would also. Sorry, Mark Andrews is definitely in the queue, and then Tucker Kraft.
I'm cool with. Yeah, it's close.
That's it though. It's Njoku, Loveland, Andrews, or Kraft. In my opinion, I really don't want to reach for any of the others. If those guys are gone, I think we wait.
Yeah. And again, now.
We'll see what's here.
Reasoning
right? I mean,
was because if all four of those guys go, that's not cool, and I will be surprised. But the thought was, I think we would still be able to get one of those dudes. So Baker Mayfield off the board. It would be lovely if
we didn't have Worthy, you wouldn't have wanted to do it. You wanted to do the stack too. So it's you had good reasons.
We can get
I'll just make you tell me I was right about the tight ends going, and we can still be happy about having Mahomes. We're both happy.
Just a couple of happy guys here drafting at 11 p.m. I was telling Dwain earlier, again, it's all good. I'm chilling. I'm usually a late night person anyway, but we got moved to Colorado or somewhere, Dwain, getting that West Coast time zone for these jobs.
If we move to Colorado, Fantasy Life might not like our work as much. We might be on the slopes and just like eating gummies all day.
Dude, we'd be done. We'd be done with the Sunday night pods at like 9 p.m. though. Imagine that. We'd also be having to wake up at 6, which is
that's the thing I always think about the West Coast folks. Like Ben Gretsch came on Talk Data to me a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey man, we can do earlier Pacific Coast, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want to do 8 your time?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "But that's like 6 your time." He's like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "I just get up early." And I was like, "Okay." He goes, "Can we change it to 8:30 so I don't need to use an alarm clock?" I guess he's trying to do this natural wake up thing. I was like, "Dang!" I was like, "Hat tip to you, dude." Talk about like when your body's gonna wake up. I pretty much wake up at the same time, but I still sometimes the alarm probably 50% of the time still is what ultimately like scoots me out of the bed.
Sure.
So hat tip Gretsch, just naturally waking up and popping out of bed.
And that's awesome. Gretsch is the man. But isn't the like society opinion on like if you're up the exact same amount, I'm not going to do the math in my head right now, but if you wake up at 6 a.m. and go to bed at 10 p.m. versus waking up at 10 a.m. and going to bed like at 2 a.m., like then you're a bad person on the ladder. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're like if you're just working the same amount, you're not being a late night degenerate, but like, man, just something about that waking up. And there goes David Njoku. So, come on. I need this. Cooper Kupp on the board, wide receiver. I will say, if they do skew up these tight ends, that would suck. I admit that. But this tight end run and a couple of the quarterbacks is pushing some really good wide receivers.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Cooper Kupp here. Jordan Addison went. I like Jaden Reed.
Go. Oh, yeah, he went before. Okay. I was about to say, like, Addison would be interesting because we have the guys to fill it.
But I think if Loveland or Andrews are here, we have to take them. Loveland is hey, we're putting you on the team, and we're probably not going to start you week 1, but you will be starting for us like at some point in the year. And he just went. No, he didn't. It's Cooper Kupp. Okay. I saw something go from the queue. I was about to lose my shit. No, we never lose our shit, Ian.
Never. Only when it's about Rashad Bateman, but whatever. It's a long summer.
No one's.
God, Hopkins is already missing practice with the knee. He's back, but
never. I haven't drafted him once. Just no
he's
point.
So late. I take a couple, but man, I'm probably at like 3% or something silly. All right, there goes Eckler. I think it's Mark Andrews here, right? Likely's already banged up. Andrews, after a weird September, wound up setting career-high touchdowns. Unfortunate last quarter of the season for sure, but it is Mark Andrews. That's another situation, man, where we could look. If you had to pick someone from this tier, and I was asking about this today, I was like, I could ask you the same thing about Mark Andrews, though. I'm sorry. I could have asked the same thing about Mark Andrews. I asked you about Travis Kelce. Like, if we could look back and be like, Mark Andrews in round 9, why didn't we just smash that?
Yeah, I like it.
Do you want to go Loveland? I had the last pick.
No. I hate the rotation, but Loveland's going to face the same thing.
Yeah.
And we know that the Ravens are a good offense. We don't know that yet about the Bears.
Andrews, Kraft, Loveland.
There's a chance we get Loveland. I think Loveland goes behind us, but
most likely. But
let's take. We can take Mark Andrews. I'm good with it.
You're cool with Andrews over Kraft. I am.
Yes, I have Loveland over Kraft. So
okay, let's go Mark Andrews.
Well, I have. It's a tier. I like all these guys.
Cool.
Oh yeah, got him.
Didn't exactly get to have our cake and eat it too, but hey, Mark Andrews, round 9. Still.
Yeah, no, Mark Andrews is a guy you're taking in round 4 or 5 last year. He did increase his route participation as the year went on. Now, some of it at the end of the year was a little weird because it was with Zay Flowers out, so they essentially went to their 12 personnel package. So there goes Tucker Kraft. So Colson Loveland. I was really hoping Loveland would come back and we'd have both, but he's not.
We have avoided the, as you were saying, the need to get 3 quarterbacks or tight ends, though, which is a nice win.
Yeah. I don't mind drafting 2 still with Mahomes, but we've also just kind of said that like we're betting on this team that Mahomes is Mahomes again. And
and you know how it gets in round. Bro, and like the thing with the positional 2 or 3 QBs or tight ends or however many running backs, I almost feel like it's more like it's better to have that mindset in the first 10 or 12 rounds. Because once you're in round 17 or 18, I mean, if you have a sick tight end falling versus some random 3rd or 4th string running back, who cares if you already took 2 tight ends,
Right. Well, we have our Okonkwo in our back pocket, kind of that we can just put at the bottom of the queue and be watching. Like, I think we both feel really good about him as someone else to have on this team. I don't mind having a 3 tight end team with Mark Andrews. Like, I love the upside of Mark Andrews, but will I be surprised like if it goes wrong? No. So I definitely want to have an extra one.
I'll tell you what, bro, we've seen him go late. If we're sitting here in round 17, Isaiah Likely's on the board, I wouldn't mind just saying, hey, we have the Ravens tight end.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. And I've been taking Likely in best ball. Like all reports I've read is like he might not be ready for week 1, but there wasn't a surgery or anything. So
no. He's so freaking good, man. He was supposed to. I know Ricky, the People's Insider, was saying that he was about to get like a Jake Ferguson-esque deal. I mean, obviously Andrews is on the team this year, but there was a lot of smoke to the idea that he might not. I'm checking out his contract right now. Yeah, this is his last year. So I'd be kind of surprised if they bring him back. I believe he turned 30 somewhat recently. Okay, turns 30 in September. Yeah, so he'll be there, but
Come on, leave Colston Loveland, dude. Please. This dude's taking him. It's just look at this
he's
team.
Not going to do it. And we took Mark.
And he's willing to take Bill in round 5. He's going to be willing to take Loveland in round 10.
Yep, and it's smart by him. So kudos to I Feel It Coming for taking Loveland. Probably.
If he doesn't, we have a chance because everybody behind us has one.
That'd be fun.
Even then, we've seen the double up at tight end over here in these rooms.
Austin
but to your point,
9,
so the thing with Mark Andrews, he took Trey Benson. So the thing with Mark Andrews is he does actually have the profile of the tight end that can break fantasy. And he's already done it one season because he can be a high-end target earner as well as a deep A-dot guy. And
he can score freaking 10 touchdowns. No problem.
And he can run after the catch. Like he should be healthier this year. This should be the healthiest we've probably seen him in 2 years. So we don't know. I mean, last year, like the rotation, could have been less to do with Likely and more to do with Andrews not being well until maybe mid-season. And he really did pick up over the second half of the year, even before the Zay Flowers injury. Like we're talking about a tight end. Like you can pull up the, utilization game log. But I want to say like, man, over the last 8 games, probably averaging 12, 13 fantasy points per game.
I think it was from like week 5 or 6 on, bro. It was after everyone kind of gave up. And then it was like, oh yeah, he's still Mark Andrews. Loveland goes to Sam Laporta team. Just good value at that point. All right. We'll get some more tight ends later. Mark Andrews, please still be sweet.
All right. So we've got Chris Godwin, who we don't have to play right now, but we'll eventually be playing football. I mean, or we can go Rashid Shaheed or Rashid Shaheed.
Look, if we already had 4 or 5 wide receivers, I'd be more willing to take on Godwin. I told you before the show, I do have Shaheed 1 spot ahead of Godwin. You saw some of the preseason
dude. I
stuff.
like him. Yeah. I like him. I hate their quarterbacks, but I think it's all priced in here in round 10.
Caleb
Man, Williams. I wanted freaking Colston Loveland so bad right there.
I know. That would have been freaking sweet.
It's a challenge that these guys, especially when you spend a round 7 pick and you still want to take another tight end. It's I haven't figured it out yet, to be honest. I haven't figured out why that happens over here. It's not tight end premium. I get it if you take your first tight end when we did. We probably weren't
2 wide receivers too.
Yeah, you have 2 wide receivers on your team.
Tucker Kraft team, I would have totally got it.
Exactly. That's where I'm at. But we see this happen all the time. We've seen it. We've seen the George Kittle team take a guy like that. Yeah. It's something on this. It's something in the Fantasy Life Championship over here at RealTime Sports that I don't. And there goes Pitts. So he was definitely taking Colston Loveland. He was ultimately uber pissed about what just happened. I bet.
Yeah, he said I need a tight end.
All right, so we take Shaheed here.
I am cool with Shaheed if you are.
I got him. I like him.
Let's do it.
We've seen him go later than this, but I don't care. I like taking him.
Need for Shaheed. Other best wide receivers on the board: Chris Godwin, Michael Pittman, Brandon Ayuk, Marvin Mims, Darnell Mooney. We're getting to that point, Dwayne, where it gets rough. I would love if a certain Luther Burden was maybe available for us in the next round or 2.
Yeah, I like getting the upside guys. Luther Burden by week 4 playing that Olamide Zacchaeus role would be pretty nice. It's Olamide. I just screwed it up again. I learned it and I screwed it up again. It's Olamide Zacchaeus.
Olamide. You watch all 22, bro. You're good.
Yeah, I know. That's the one thing with watching the all 22.
Olamide.
Pronounce any. I'll forget it again.
It's
I said it as Olamide sounds cool too. It feels like you would be in an old, you would have been in the show Troy. You would have been a Greek warrior.
Dude, talk about a movie that is 80% kind of annoying and slow and not good, but then the 4 or 5 just battle scenes are amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. The first one right out with the big dude calling for Achilles and he's just laying in the tent with the ladies. And he's like, all right, I've drank enough. I'll come out here.
Bro, and then that little kid is he's like, I wouldn't go out there if I were you. And Achilles is like, that's why no one will remember your name. It's Jesus, some 8-year-old came to wake you up. And you're
just got soul crushed. I liked
By
that
the way,
movie, but yes, it is slow.
yeah,
in
it's one of
parts.
those. If you guys want to rewatch it, kudos, but I would just YouTube the 4 or 5 scenes. The Team 5, by the way, who has been going fairly zero RB. I mean, first 4 rounds, Justin Jefferson, Drake London, Jackson Smith, Jigba, Jaden Daniels. They got Pacheco round 5. Went back to wide receiver well. Zay Flowers and Roma Dunze. If you are going to do it, those are 2 guys worth doing it. Got Evan Ingram. They have tacked on Austin Eckler and Tajay Spears. So Pacheco, Eckler, RB1, RB2. Hey, I can see the vision. I think they're probably about to tack on a handful more. I am down to try that strategy again more, Dwayne. I do think it is, to your point, though. You just got to eat your vegetables probably in round 5 at the latest and just get one of those guys.
If you were him and it gets to you in round 4, like I bet he was torn between Jaden Daniels and RJ Harvey. I think I bet that was his big decision. There's a double up at quarterback for Kyler Murray.
Former teammates with Baker Mayfield.
Yep. I'm telling you, man, the interesting thing about these rooms over here is how quickly people will double up quarterback and tight end, even if they took one early.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't figure it out. I'm not necessarily saying it's even wrong. I just don't see it anywhere else but here.
Through 10 rounds, everyone. Started off RB, Christian McCaffrey, and Bucky Irving. Grabbed our first wide receiver, T. Higgins, in round 3. Came back around to get Kenneth Walker in round 4. Rare in these streets. He was going after guys like DeAndre Swift and Breece Hall. Managed to get Tedero McMillan in round 5. That felt good. What felt even better was Xavier Worthy coming back to us in round 6. Somehow saw Dave Montgomery in round 7. Again, Zach Charbonnet went 1 pick after. Travis Etienne, 1 pick after that. So it just seemed like a situation where, wow, Dwain and I aren't exactly the biggest DeMont truthers in the world. If we are going to draft him, it is going to be in round 7. Had a back and forth on what to do, quarterback versus tight end in round 8. Ian pulled his I want to draft Patrick Mahomes card, so we did. Ended up getting Mark Andrews coming back around in round 9. Picked up Rashid Shaheed in round 10. So, Dwayne, we have 4 wide receivers, 4 running backs, a quarterback and tight end. I don't think there's another quarterback or tight end we're too worried about. I'd be open to listening to a pitch about Kincaid, Goddard, or Ferguson if you feel strongly. Kincaid would be the only one that I would think.
I think it's just a roster construction thing. Like, we really like Mark Andrews, but like, we want outs. We want outs. Like this team, if Mahomes hits, and we feel so good about the way the receivers and running backs look right now, like I don't want the tight end to drag us down. So I really don't. I don't mind drafting another guy from this tier and then coming back and tacking on an Okonkwo later, and then we shed one of them. So what's interesting is that's not a thing I would normally do, but over here, because of all the double taps and stuff, I think you have to adapt your strategy some.
Well, and again, I was going to say Dallas Goedert and Jake Ferguson. I feel like we know who they are. Could they finish as a top 12 tight end? Absolutely. And they're not misranked or anything like that. Dalton Kincaid, I think, is that one guy where we could look up and be like, oh, yeah, the guy we were drafting as a top 6 tight end last year, he's now in year 3. It's just more chemistry with Josh Allen. Look, the way we looked at this Bills offense last year, post Stephon Diggs, was that Dalton Kincaid, the round 1 tight end, was going to grow in year 2 and end up assuming that number 1 target role. I know they got the everyone eats mantra. That's great. I don't expect him to get 150 targets or anything, but if Dalton Kincaid led the Buffalo Bills in targets, Dwayne, like, I wouldn't be the most surprised I've ever been.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm asking Perplexity, our AI tool,
can you finish this draft for us?
No, we would never let AI finish our draft. There's a lot of things we might farm out, but that's not one of them.
Najee Harris, Tank Bigsby off the board to start round 11, by the way. Again, this is what you're dealing with in these zero RB streets. So more than anything, again, we got 3 RBs in the first 4 rounds, but generally
just general knee soreness that ties back to the knee that bothered him last year.
Oh, great.
No setbacks. I like seeing that. This is a cool thing about AI, like how it goes across all these different things.
That is because usually I just have to search Twitter. That does sound like a better.
I have to search 50 things, but at the same time, I kind of get like go off on a tangent. Like I'm also used to doing things the way I did, so I still like double check it so much. I don't know if it's making me faster yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying it's wrong. Actually, it's been very right. I've had to help it out a couple of times on some things and say like, hey, this like that's actually not correct, blah blah blah. But then it takes it and it recalculates everything, and it's funny because it'll come back and be like, oh, you're right, and then it'll say the next part, and it like ends up doing a good job. But that's only happened like 2 or 3 times, and I use it about 100 times over the weekend doing all the reports from the preseason. Because I'm just trying to figure out ways, to be faster, during the season. And if I could use that on Mondays when I'm writing the utilization report, and if that saves me, an hour and a half of searching for stuff, like that would be huge. But right now, I've not gotten to that level just because I still double check everything. So
Jalen Wright, mid-round 11, good to see folks.
He's falling everywhere else, but which is so interesting with the injury. I get it, people. You're like, oh man, Jalen Wright sucks, but we have the injury to Achane and he's still falling. It's just like, it's so funny.
I try to give running backs the benefit of the doubt where, again, we see it time and time again. Things like Zonovan Knight become values. So if you can just not be the worst running back in the league, you should be able to just put up reasonable fantasy production with the opportunity. We haven't confirmed that Jalen Wright is, in fact, not the worst running back in the league. So, again, we need to get past that. But if we can, Dwain, the opportunities are there for the guy.
Yeah. So, do you want to take Kincaid here? The other options are Godwin or Burden.
There's enough of these wide receivers, and they might go. It's a risk. Godwin versus Ayuk, I don't think is... Like, if we miss out on Godwin and we have to even get...
The thing is, your thesis on Dalton Kincaid is correct. If one of these tight ends is to surprise us from this group we have of Dalton Kincaid, Dallas Goedert, and Jake
That's what I'm saying. I don't see a wide receiver I need right now. So I'm cool with Kincaid.
Right.
You cool with Kincaid?
Oh, cool. Yeah. And we're in a league where we can cut him. It's not like, we're stuck with him. I mean, obviously, a round 11 pick, we want him to work out. But if he doesn't, it's okay.
But we would appreciate it, Mr. Kincaid.
And again, it's the thesis. You were very correct.
How about this, Dwayne? We drafted the 2 guys who ended their season with devastating drops in the playoffs. What can go wrong?
Well, we might have to rename this team something to do with that. But no, it's like again, like great job by you, like outlining like the whole thesis. I think Godwin was the other pick there, to be honest. Now that we had and he just went after us. So that was the only other one. But given the fact that we needed the tight end, like I think you could make an argument we should have gone with Godwin, but it's okay. It's like you said, like I don't know that Kincaid comes back to us with how much people double up. Plus the team in the 12 hole needs a tight end.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he would have gotten back to us.
It's like you said with Goddard or Ferguson, basically we're hoping for an injury to one of their teammates to really like unlock like something where we're like, oh my God. And again, this is what I was saying earlier with the difference with how I felt about Hawkinson and Ingram and those guys. Not so much that, oh my God, I think they're amazing, but just starting them. And also, I think they obviously have better floors, but a little bit better ceiling. And there goes Jake Ferguson. So I'm glad we did what we did. So there's another double up.
Yeah. And again, we're going to address some other positions here for a little bit. Chig, likely round 16, round 17. I'm cool with that. But if we leave this draft,
we'll take him before then. But yes, we're going to Chig.
If we don't, though, like I can live with an Andrews Kincaid tight end room. Like it's fine.
Yeah. Let me ask you. So I want some receiver youth. I'm fine just keep continuing to pass on the running backs because we invested so much early.
We're good.
And we waited at wide receiver. Now, if there's a running back you see here that you really like Braylon Allen's gone. I'm sure Brian Robinson
would be interesting.
Did Brian Robinson go? He had to have. Because what if he got traded to the Cowboys? What if he got traded to like a team we like?
I don't think he went, bro.
Really? All right. He's available. Okay.
just crossed him
He
off.
just went. He literally just went.
Okay. Well, yeah, he went, bro. Told you.
Okay. So, yeah. But I would have taken him coming back.
At that point, yeah. Hey, did you
All
see
right,
the
so I think
Dwain, real quick?
Go ahead.
Did you see the viral video of the dude who accidentally put Brian Robinson Jr. on 101 instead of Bijan Robinson?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Dude, it is the funniest thing. His friends freak out. 10% of me thinks it might have been staged, but if they did, then they did a pretty good job.
Well, you remember last year when Marcus Grant and our league took Tua Tagovailoa's brother as his starting quarterback?
Oh my God.
Because he took his brother who was he was in a training camp.
I remember Marcus took Zach Ertz like round 9 or 10, and I couldn't stop laughing. And then Zach Ertz was like, "I'm gonna give you a tight end one season, Marcus." So, so that Ian guy can shut the hell up over there. Marcus knows ball. So okay, so we want some wide receivers. I was hoping for Mims, but alas.
Yeah, but still, we've got Burden still sitting here. We got Trey Harris. I know we got Kyle Williams super late the other night, but I don't think that stops us from going ahead and taking him. Bajal Tootin is the one running back that I would consider here.
I agree.
Just for like the late season, like, oh my God, what could happen?
He's kind of the last guy around here where we could
really
just get the job. Like Tyler Algier, Ray Davis, like we need the injuries to happen.
DeAndre Hopkins off the board.
Oh, shoot, man. Damn.
Shoot. Like my dad when I was young, when he wouldn't cuss, he'd go shh instead of
Jiminy Christmas.
We'd be working on like my truck or something, and he'd bang his hand and he'd go shh.
That's gotta take some self-control.
Oh yeah. No, my dad's awesome. So man, Tootin or Burden?
We're good on Ayuk, just to be clear.
Ayuk, yeah. I mean, at this point, Brandon Ayuk.
It's Brandon Ayuk.
Jesus.
He's got the job. Like, he's coming back, and he's going to be a starting wide receiver from week 6, 7 on.
Oh, man, yeah. So it's Tootin versus Ayuk. There goes the Broncos.
Yeah.
I think now that we have the 4 wide receivers, I kind of think it's Brandon Ayuk.
I think, again,
it's Ayuk, Burden, and Tootin. That's the. I think it's Ayuk. Yeah. I think you're right. We just talked about how Godwin was potentially the pick the last time around. Ayuk's the same thing.
He's the same thing.
Let's take him.
I think he's better than Godwin when he's right, to be fair. Cool. Brandon Ayuk.
Wasn't even going to wait to let you potentially talk me out of it.
Just to be clear, I'm pretty sure no IR spot, right?
No, but we have 20 rounds. So
20 rounds. Who needs an IR spot?
Essentially, yes. Who needs an IR spot?
I mentioned on the Fantasy Life show, but guys, when you're in leagues with keepers, Ayuk, even Godwin as well. I mean, those are awesome dudes who, again, you can get late. Guess what? They're going to be going a lot earlier next year. I mean, every year there's just a few of these guys. Kyler was the one season when he was coming back from the knee. I mean, they're not that hard to see, so maybe you got to take them around before you normally would. But, I mean, again, like at this point, the top players, like we're all building depth at this point. So why not just take the guy when you are in a keeper format where he can give you such a potential nice advantage the next season? So I will say, Dwain, it sounds great to say that right now. I had that mindset with Jonathan Brooks last year. Certainly didn't work out. So not 100% hit rate, but, you know.
Purdy's still sitting there, man. The disrespect. Fields is still sitting there.
Yeah, what's going on with this room, man? I thought 20 quarterbacks would be gone by now.
The Fields thing is people now remember that he struggles to complete passes.
No, I'm not even saying Fields, but just generally I feel like quarterbacks in these drafts fly off way quicker than they are in this one. So, you know, every room's different.
There went Rachaad White. I just put him over in the queue. It's not like I love him, but if we were taking a 5th running, here's my thought on Rachaad White. After watching what happened with Bucky Irving, they gave everything to Bucky this weekend.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Like, you did not even see a sniff from Sean Tucker, which is what happened to end last year. when they got into the playoff race and into the playoff game. And it makes me think that there's actually a bigger difference between Rachaad White and Sean Tucker than we think. Like, I don't think they view those two players anywhere the same. And I think that's also good for Bucky, because if Rachaad White were to miss time, I think he's going to have a massive role. And there goes Brock Purdy to the guy that has Mayfield, Murray already. So he says, everybody else might not be drafting 2 quarterbacks this draft, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it right here in front of the team 1 that does not have a quarterback.
He's just building up the exciting whites. I'm not going to fault him for just buying into the bid at all costs. Team 1 does still need a QB. Still got Justin Fields, Drake May. I'll tell you what, Dwayne, I've been getting
0 RB team took Tootin. Like, we could have called that a mile away.
Yeah. I'm on all these slow drafts going on. A lot of Caleb Williams for your boy, Dwayne. I'm buying in.
Yeah. I said Caleb was going to be one of my most drafted quarterbacks, and it just hasn't worked out that way. And it's not because I don't want it to work out that way. I do. It's just I'm going to need to up my Caleb exposure, like, to finish out, which sucks because he was really falling. The problem is it would get to me, and it was best ball, and I wouldn't have DJ Moore, and it would be a team where I didn't have or the team where I had Odunze, it wouldn't work out, and then I would look at it and be like, well, maybe I grab Loveland here and see if Caleb swings back around the turn to me, and then he'd go. So it's like, I've tried to set it up. But I don't like taking the quarterback naked, and then you miss out on, like, Burden and Loveland, and then you're like, oh, I have Caleb Williams, which is, still not like, it's not like the worst thing ever, but
I've got him in
I'd rather have a stack.
I'm in some super flex slows, and I've gotten Caleb in round 4. I like that value.
Yeah.
It's funny being in these super flexes, guys. Like, the first, you'll see Daniels, Lamar, Josh, and Hurts are going probably literally the first 4 picks and everything. And then it becomes this waiting game. Joe Burrow's going to go in round 1 for sure. I actually took him in round 1 and another one. I totally get it. Mahomes will go in round 2. After Mahomes, you guys might literally see it go a round or 2 before another quarterback. It just becomes this game of chicken where I think when there's still top 12 to 15 running backs and similar wide receiver, where, like, people don't want to pull the trigger on Bo Nix or Baker Mayfield because we all know that tier's flat.
Yeah. So the hero RB drafter got Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round. Then went AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Rashee Rice. Comes back with Caleb Johnson, J.K. Dobbins, Braylon Allen, Bajal Tootin, and Ray Davis. I think Annie snuck Cooper Kupp in there as well. I would take that hero build. I like that hero build.
That's a great team. Shout out to Mrs. Mia Wallace.
Yeah, I think our straight up starting lineup is better. But, like, the upside of what could happen with his team, having Rashee Rice on it with, Jahmyr Gibbs, and then if just one of the Caleb Johnson, J.K. Dobbins, or Tootin, one of those things hit, man, it's that. This is how he's built it the way, in my opinion, that you should. Now, he did not get an elite onesie anywhere in there, but he did get Dak. So he's got a solid quarterback.
If he could somehow find a way to, taking Ray Davis there, I probably would have just said, screw it, give me Dallas Goedert. But we'll see what he has up his sleeve.
Yeah. It might be.
Burden goes.
I'd literally just put him in the queue.
I know. Would have been nice. All right. Darnell Mooney is gone, by the way.
Okay. So is Keenan Allen.
So is Keenan.
I think Trey Harris is gone too. Yeah. I'm doing a terrible job over here.
That's okay. Will Shipley?
I want an upside receiver. I think they're about to all be gone. I think it's Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams and Luther Burden really aren't even that different. I mean, we like Burden more, but
yeah. No, I get it. I believe in Kyle Williams. I'm looking at it right now. Kyle Williams. Let's get him.
Yeah, I think he's the pick. I know we got him later, way later. The other night,
bro, we are basically, man, this is a good team. Christian McCaffrey, Bucky Irving, our top 2 RBs. T. Higgins, obviously wide receiver one. Dude, we might be flexing. We probably will be flexing Kenneth Walker and David Montgomery. And then the wide receiver 2 spot's going to be between T-Mac and Worthy. We got Shaheed hanging out there. I mean, we don't need like a stash like Kyle Williams is great.
Yeah, like David Montgomery is still a backup on this team. Like we're flexing Kenneth Walker and Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, what am I saying? Yeah.
And David Montgomery, though, is...
I just skipped over Worthy, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, man.
Forgot we had that, dude. Let's go.
So Montgomery can fill in a flex any week. We've got the Mahomes to Worthy stack, and we're betting on a Mahomes year, not the last 2 years. We've got Rashid Shaheed, and, basically as a bye week filler if we need it early, Brandon Ayuk eventually working his way back into the fold, which we really like. And then we just took upside and Kyle Williams. So we built this. What we did is what you're supposed to do, in my opinion. We spent the early round draft capital on running back. And so we pivoted to wide receiver more in these late rounds where normally we're taking running backs. And the thesis for taking running backs in these rounds is still the same, like how big you could hit if you're right. But with the way we've already built our team, like we needed to take the receivers and the values were there. I mean, Brandon Ayuk in round 12 on this team where we just get to let him sit there. Like, dude, I love it. Getting Kyle Williams, a guy that could be in the starting lineup by probably week 4 or 5 for New England. Like, I'll tell you what, the pick of getting Shaheed made it all possible because we already have a guy. It's like you said, whenever we were looking at Godwin, you're like, man, I don't know. Like if we had one more wide receiver already, we could look at Godwin, and essentially we got Godwin 2 rounds late. We got Godwin a round later in Ayuk. There goes Brenton Strange and Elijah Arroyo as the double tap. So I'm kind of thinking Okonkwo coming back and we just go ahead and knock it out. Unless you want to go Drake May, I love me some Drake May. Justin Fields went.
I don't think we need look, I love me some Drake May too, but it's going to take a lot for us to start that dude over Patrick Mahomes.
Right, but we could see Mahomes not play well, and then Drake May has the ingredients to do what we want. And this is a league where everybody takes them, and we're not letting Team 1 have it. I don't ever let that be like my deciding factor. But
I know, but it's kind of funny when it works.
He's pushed it and pushed it. And like if I'm him, the name I want right now is Drake May by a million miles. JJ McCarthy would be my second place.
I will just say the last locked and loaded borderline elite handcuff is Will Shipley, and he is still on the board.
Yeah.
We haven't taken a running back since David Montgomery. I mean, if Will Shipley's our RB5, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I like that too.
Because seriously, after Shipley, Woody Marks, Blake Corum, Taj Brooks. Not saying one of them couldn't work out, but Shipley is the one. Because I look at wide receiver, and our boy Isaac Tesla is there, but we don't need to take him now. I'm cool with Drake May if Shipley goes here, but I kind of think we go Shipley.
So Herbert went, Goff went, Fields went. It's fine. We're betting on Patrick Mahomes. We took him. I think you're right. Like,
what was that?
Again, never want this. I don't even think you are right on this. if Saquon Barkley pulled a hamstring tomorrow, Saquon Barkley won the lottery tomorrow and decided, you know what? Screw you, NFL. You guys don't like running backs. I don't like you. I just hit, the whatever, the huge one. I don't ever play the lottery. I don't know what you call this stuff. Like the Powerball. Powerball. He says, man, I'm out of here. Where would you draft Will Shipley?
Dude. Let's see.
Because he's smoked. He's left AJ Dillon in the dust. He's the clear cut too.
He's right there in the I think we can debate between Breece Hall, RJ Harvey, Alvin Kamara, Will Shipley, and maybe I'm underselling him.
Yeah. And the thing is, we're probably still going to be able to get a Trevor Lawrence or a Jordan Love or something like that if we want. Don't be wrong. Drake May is in another tier for me. But if Will Shipley's here, I agree. Because on this team, we're betting that Patrick Mahomes kicks ass.
And if we had literally any quarterback after Mahomes, I would be down for Drake May. But I just have a hard time believing that we're going to be in a position where, and hey, maybe Drake May just really does put together his top 5 season. We've drafted him already. I want to draft him again, but We're riding or dying with Mahomes. Let's go. Taj Brooks went. Will Shipley, come on down.
Yep, got him.
Like, dude, freaking.
No, and he's the archetype you like. This guy can catch passes. This guy, believe it or not, some people don't know this, can run between the tackles. This guy can get to the edge.
We were all about him. I remember pre-draft last year. Like, he went to Philly, so it became this, okay, well, that's not going to work out this year. But I remember before the draft, us just talking about him being this explosive pass-catching archetype that we want to target.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It was a very, very good call on your part. It's so funny that Dallas Goedert is still sitting here. And that's the thing that made me okay with, like, Goddard is here, right?
Mrs. Mia Wallace, after I just was like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's here. There goes Woody Marks.
Right after I was like, why did Mrs. Mia Wallace not take Goddard? He's going to come all the way back around. That's awesome. Good for you, Mia. We'll see you in the championship.
I'm going to throw a few running backs in the queue, not saying we have to take them here, but just kind of.
Ollie. We got Ollie on that. I think we did, right?
Remember our 0 RB team?
That's what I'm saying. I think we got
Bill. We took Bill in like round 15.
Thank God we needed him. That's the team. Dude, he went round 5 here.
Remember? And don't you remember we said what we said? Or it was like, hey, man, it's just destiny. Like, if this hits on this 0 RB team that looks like a complete freaking mess, it's destiny.
We drafted, I think, 11 RBs. Might have been 12.
I
was looking at the chat afterwards, and people were like, I've never seen this many RBs go.
What's funny is we'll end up, that'll be our best team.
Right. That's how it goes.
Like people are like Sean Tucker. Again, I think I'm out at this point. I mean, he's the running back 3 on his team, and they don't seem real interested in playing him whenever Rachaad White's hurt.
Yeah.
I think I'm Dunsky on that one. At least in round 14. I think I'm Dunsky.
I probably would have.
So I threw some names that I think are really interesting right now that I think are probably the running back 2 on their team, and one just went. And that was Dameon Pierce. No, he didn't go. Dameon Pierce.
Pierce would be great.
I think he's behind Chubb right now with mixing out.
Maybe.
And then
maybe.
I think I just based on I'm kind of reading between the tea leaves. My gut is that it is him over Woody Marks. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Marks, it's him or Marks. It's hard.
No, Dwain, I was going the opposite direction. I was saying maybe Pierce is the one ahead of Chubb.
He could be. Yeah. See, that's my thing is if you can't look at the preseason stuff because he hasn't played, but if you look at what's going on in practice, those two are splitting the reps with the ones. And I think they want Woody Marks to take over Agumbawale's role. So Kendre Miller is the running back 2 in New Orleans, and I think that's almost a slam dunk. And then Blake Corum is starting to separate from Jarquez. Now, if something happened to Kyron, I don't know that would necessarily translate to, oh my God, we're loading up Corum. It could be more of a split, but I will say a coach that we know is willing to load him up is McVay. And we've just seen him do it with so many. We have seen him do it with so many dudes.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
I'm saying if Kyron, again, wins the lottery, he's out of the picture, like Corum could go at the latest round 6 or 7 here, I think.
Yeah.
And got like McVay comes out and it's like, yeah, Blake's our guy. We trust him and stuff. Like, come on.
Romeo Dobbs, a player I'm never taking in redraft, a player that I do take in best ball.
Yeah, I get him best ball, but you're
never going to know when to play him. And
I like Romeo Dobbs.
Not breaking
I appreciate him for what he is, but yeah, he's not going to have a 15 touchdown year. Probably not. Who knows? Yeah. Wow. Mrs. Mia Wallace. What tight end are you going to get now? Probably Chig.
Hope not.
They really just said F them tight ends.
Man, I hope it's not Chig.
Well, they took May instead of Goddard.
What do you think about Mason Taylor, man? What about that catch the other night? was pretty fun. I'm not crazy about Justin Fields, but I don't have to take Mason Taylor as early as Garrett Wilson goes.
Dude, I mean, it's not like Justin Fields is going to throw for 1,000 yards in 17 games. Like, I get it. He's not going to come close to 4,000. He's going to throw for 3,
Which is not good.
1,800 to Garrett, and he's still got 1,200 for Mason. Let's go.
So what's funny is I can buy more into the tight end thesis than I can like the DJ Moore one, because if you think about the things that he does down at the goal line and how much pressure he puts on the defense, it leaves the tight end wide open on like these little bench or flat routes, like where they just squeak out over it. Dude, Cole Kmet, how many of those touchdowns that year were wide open?
Dude, just play action boot. They put the linebacker in a bind, doesn't know whether he should come up or sit back. He comes up because it's Justin Fields, and guess what? Easy dump off to Mason Taylor. Touchdown, 9th of the year. Ian and Dwain win 500K.
Now we're talking. Well, I remember last year we tried to manifest is Rome Odunze. We're doing the announcer voice. It's week 17 with another catch. I don't know who that was, like Kenny Albert. Yeah. Romo Doomsday. Can you imagine Kenny Albert when he gets home? Honey, what's for dinner? Like, does he talk like that at home? You think?
Oh my goodness. I hope so.
I want like some Bruce scrambled Buffer. Eggs.
His wife puts the dinner on the table and Bruce Buffer's like, it's time. Bruce, please. He does, people pay him a lot of money to do like wedding openings and stuff. It was like more than my wedding cost combined. So that was a hard no from me, but could have had a Bruce Buffer recording there.
Here's Jordan Love.
Do you want your boy?
I think we take Okonkwo just because I like him so much. And I think you're with me.
I'm cool with that.
Unless you're now on the Mason Taylor train.
If anything, I would want Dameon Pierce.
Well, I think we're going to get one of these 3 running backs we have here.
Okay. Then I'm cool with you.
All right, let's take him. We waited at tight end, but we addressed it.
Yep.
We're done with it. So we plan on it being Andrews, but if he gets stuck in a heavy rotation where he's like 50% route participation, we have 2 other outs.
Yep. Kincaid, and if Kincaid becomes just a jag, hopefully Chig is not, 3 darts.
Wan'Dale Robinson, I will say you and I do not draft him, but I will say 2 smart guests on Talk Data to Me, Rich Rebar and Ben Gretsch, say they like Wan'Dale Robinson.
Well, I think it's just, and they're not wrong. I mean, I respect both their opinions. It's, why is the guy who just got 140 targets last year going round 15? That's all you have to say. And
yeah, that's all you have to say to tell yourself to draft him, actually.
Yeah.
You're just like, well, I mean, he did have 140 targets. I mean,
now then you dig in and you see that he was literally the worst wide receiver in NFL history with those targets, but still got the targets. No, he was like by just, I'm not trying to be a dick, but he was.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the stat. It is quite ridiculous. You're telling the
truth. Tesla. Where did we get Tesla at the other night?
Okay, here we go. 270 instances of a wide receiver catching at least 90 passes in a season ever. The only one to average under 50 yards per game is Wan'Dale, and he was at 41.
And also, wasn't it like 3rd and 15 and he's catching a 4-yard ball?
That's what I'm saying, man. I literally thought we were going to see a lot of these Josh Downs, like sick pivots and all this stuff, and it would be no. It's like he's running those pivot routes, but the defender is 6 yards off, and then they just casually tackle him.
I will say in year 1, though, we did see before the injury, I thought we saw some flashes of him actually being able to.
He had a game against the Colts. He had a game against the Colts where he had a couple smooth routes. I think it was Kenny Moore. Their like nickelback was in a blender. I remember I made a small cut up for him there.
So if we want to, what are your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence? I think it is Damian. There goes Trevor Lawrence. So you don't even have to worry about it. You're not even going to have to talk to me about it because you were not going to want it anyway. I just want to say on Lawrence, he has the archetype of a guy that could run for 25, 30 yards per game. And if he did throw for 4,200 in this new scheme with Travis Hunter added to Brian Thomas Jr., a lot of ways for Mr. Trevor Lawrence to get there, in my opinion, this year. And if he managed to spike in both categories, it could be like Baker last year, where you're like, whoa, just got QB6, took this dude at the end of the draft. This guy that drafted him took Justin Herbert. I like Trevor Lawrence over Justin Herbert this season. And I like Justin Herbert. And I'm liking him more and more the more I watch the rookie wide receivers. Man, I hope they get those guys on the field, Ian. I just worry. And I don't want to be the Keenan hater because I've been the Keenan, honestly, like you and I think both have kind of defended Keenan. But man, watching Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith, and I know it's preseason, but I'm like, Jesus, like I just feel like those are the guys that need to be on the field to let this offense really just grow to the new level.
So the Chiefs don't have a bye until week 10.
Yeah, we're fine. I think we're taking Dameon Pierce.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
These Stroud would have been
around and took all these running backs and still left us guys we like taking.
I know, it's awesome. I was not expecting that. So round 16, we have 4 more picks here. I mean, dude, like if Jackson Dart's our QB2, that's probably a little far, but I don't know. He looks kind of good.
Dude. You finally let me draft Jackson Dart, and I will do it. Like you said, it's week 10 before we get a bye, and someone's going to release a quarterback. Dude, man, Pat Bryant just went. The Denver Bronco receivers also looked good this weekend. Now, they were playing backups against backups. It was Jarrett Stidham in the game. Troy Franklin and
I was just
I went back and watched all their stuff, man.
Franklin's getting some hype right now. Maybe
they
we should look at him.
Good. And I know that Devon Villay, Art Vandelay, is working ahead of them in practice. You know what? I don't give 2 shits. Like if I'm drafting someone, I'm taking Pat Bryant or Troy Franklin. What's Devon Villay going to turn into for me? Now that I've said this, he'll be a wide receiver 2 this year, and we can rewind this back and everyone can make fun of me. But
I just don't see him playing much. I could be wrong. He had a cup of coffee.
According to camp reports, he's the wide receiver 3 right now. But again, I watch these other 2 guys and I'm like, anyway. So
Franklin is the one guy there. And Mims can stretch the field too, so I'm not trying to take that away from him. But like, if Franklin's having this hot camp, I like the Marvin Mims preseason usage and everything. Don't get me wrong, but if we see week 1 and Franklin's just starting over Mims, it wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world. And then Franklin's on the cover of every single waiver wire article.
Yep. Well, yeah, I think you could say the same thing for Pat Bryant. I think you could say the same thing for Trey Harris. Keandre Lambert-Smith, I think, is actually ahead of Trey Harris right now.
Well, he's playing don't they kind of have
he's playing the Quentin Johnston.
Then,
I think Trey Harris is actually running more of the Quentin Johnston role, but when Quentin Johnston left that game with the injury, he's the guy that came in. And then the next drive, Trey Harris joined him. Now, they both played the same number of drives in that game, so I think they're both basically top of the second team depth chart. But I'm just, right? Again, it's preseason. I did watch these guys, I didn't watch Keandre Lambert-Smith. I'm not going to sit here and lie ahead of the draft. I've watched him in preseason, so I'm not going to sit here and lie. I put him through the supermodel, but I did watch Trey Harris ahead of the draft. And it's not like I came away super impressed. I was kind of like you. There were things I really liked. There were some concerns.
Yeah.
But man, watching them this preseason, I can just tell you they're better than Quentin Johnston. Like I honestly don't need to see anything else. Like they are better players than Quentin Johnston already.
Quentin Johnston is a gadget receiver stuck in this 6'3", 215 body.
That you spent a first round pick on, you feel like you're having to just keep doing this.
And he had a freaking great whatever bowl that was against Harbaugh in Michigan. So, and guess what? He was who they had last year. He performed better than expected, had that massive week 18 that no one saw, and then goose egg in the wild card, which is the most Quentin Johnston thing ever. I am cool with any of those.
These people
3
are waiting on
defense.
Talking about. So if there was ever a draft where you wanted to take a good defense, it is this one. If there's one you love. Because normally we're just out. Look at this. Only one is gone. The Broncos in round 12.
Yeah.
Normally they're all gone. So I will tell you, like, this is the one team. There went Bryce Young. He was the other guy I was thinking of just because we have Tet. But it's fine. We're good. We're betting on Patrick Mahomes.
I really don't know if there is, man.
Is it the Eagles? Aren't they just... I mean, dude, they're loaded everywhere.
Here's the start of their season, though, man. Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Buccaneers, Broncos. And maybe they're good enough to make it happen, but...
I know, but it is one where you just take them and ride it out. And you just say, I don't have to worry about it.
Dude, they're literally they're replacing a lot. They're the cheapest defense. And I know a lot of that's because they have a lot of good rookies or guys on rookie contracts, but I think when there's still guys we like, we can just skirt by.
Still pretty loaded. Took a linebacker in first round. Cooper DeJean last year was a shutdown corner in the slot. I mean, I don't know, man. That and the beef up front.
I think Baltimore.
Is there any front four more loaded than the Eagles?
Baltimore's got a shitty schedule to start too.
There goes Kendra.
I know. Eagles full of Bulldogs. And
there they go.
We have 6 wide receivers.
You don't even have to worry about it.
I would like. Oh, there we go. Shoo.
You were like, I don't want to do this. Now, do you like the Houston Texans?
I mean, I do. Let me peep their schedule. Oh my God.
These guys just kind of cleaned out the running back queue, unless you like Miles Sanders.
Not particularly.
I mean, I think he's like.
Let's get one of these wide receivers: Franklin, Lambert, Smith, or Harris. Is Harris already? Oh, Harris went 5 rounds ago. Fair enough.
Yeah, I have Io Manor in there as well. But which one of those do you like? Pick the one you want. Franklin has the clearer shot, I think, to like
I'm leaning
us
Franklin.
being like, whoa, he's starting. Okay, let's take him.
Let's take Troy Franklin. We could always scoop up Lambert Smith next too. I think we're good at RB, like you said.
Well, and I like Roman Wilson too. I think Roman Wilson started.
Yeah,
his team.
Yeah.
Io Manor, I think, is probably going to dust Van Jefferson, who played like complete dog trash, and Io Manor actually made plays.
The fact that Van Jefferson is still
a thing,
unironically starting, is ridiculous. Roman Wilson is. Calvin Austin just came back. He's actually good too. I'm cool taking Roman ahead of him.
Yeah, Calvin Austin's fine, but he's like only in the slot. I think that Roman Wilson could lock down the wide receiver 2 spot. Now, don't be wrong. It's Arthur Smith. He's going to rotate these guys. He's going to run a slow offense. They're going to run the ball, but it's like, okay, it's late.
And Roman
Wilson has some good player, just bad run out year 1. No, we don't know he's a good player. He was a decent prospect, I should say.
Yeah. He routes some dudes up. He led that. I believe he was number 1 receiver on that Michigan team, him or Loveland. Although he did, I will go to my grave saying Denzel Burke picked that ball off. Freaking hometown Michigan Rouse.
Jalen Noel.
Yeah, Roman Wilson. 12 touchdowns from J.J. McCarthy in 2023.
There goes your boy, Antonio Gibson, just got drafted.
Did you see Gibson and Ramondre being interviewed? And they're like, yeah, I have no problem with a split backfield. And it's like, guys, I'm not sure you understand what's happening here. Trayvon's taking the whole damn thing over. I don't know if he's taking the whole thing over, but it was comical seeing Gibson like, yeah, I'm cool giving away some touches. Like, yeah, bro, you better be. I don't know if you're going to be on the team, man. I hope he is. Antonio Gibson was actually all the advanced stats people love throwing around the Bucky and Tank Bigsby and all these guys. Antonio Gibson had him last year, guys. The highlight tape is fun. Let me tell you what.
There goes Bates and Dicker.
The kicker. I won a ridiculous fantasy game last year by 0.1 when Dicker had like 21 points on Monday Night Football. And
I was going to say, is there a kicker that you like here?
Almost made me come around the kickers. No, come on.
Well, the reason we don't normally ever take them is where they go. Like if there was ever a draft where we were taking a defense or a kicker, it's here. But like Bates and Aubrey are my two favorites. So
I'm sorry, Dwain. Is Rashad Bateman seriously still? No, okay, he went around 16.
No, we're not taking him either way.
Come on, the dude was like 5th in touchdowns last year.
Yeah, he just had a touchdown variance touchdown spike season.
Yeah, that's just nothing to do with being good.
Once in his career, Mr. 16% targets per route run for his career.
There it is.
Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to trigger Ian.
It's working.
I know it's getting late. It's working. Okay, so Roman Wilson or Io Manor or Jackson's Lambert Smith.
We already have T-Mac. Otherwise, Coker would be in the conversation.
Yes, he would.
Diami Brown, no.
And Jack Besh, I have on the list. He's kind of buried right now. I don't think Trey Tucker remains the wide receiver 3 for long. I think Jack Besh takes that over.
The other guy that I would bring up would be Jalen Royals. You have thoughts there? That's the only other guy.
I'll put him in the queue. I think these other guys are. I like the other guys better, but I think
Juju. I think Juju could just straight up play over Royals. I know people like to pretend he doesn't.
Right. And there goes Slayton, a great best ball pick. I do not want Darius Slayton in redraft. All right. So I think it's Roman Wilson, Io Manor, or Lambert Smith here. Roman Wilson, slow offense.
He's a starting wide receiver though, right? Or if you feel good about KOS, I'm okay with that. But
Io Manor is the one that I think actually could also be like Franklin, where we're like, starter in week 1, an offense that's going to pass more than the Steelers if we get it right, an offense that really just has Calvin Ridley. We did make a bet on Okonkwo, so if we were wrong about it, it would probably be this guy making us wrong about it. This also leaves us open to take Cam Ward if we just want to stack the Titans.
Okay, no, Alec. Let's go Alec Io Manor. Yeah.
All right.
I pulled up the Thor 500. 60th overall prospect. Comp, Dwain, Braylon Edwards.
Oh, now we're going back. Braylon Edwards, man, had that 1 year where he went nuts with Derek Anderson as quarterback.
I thought he was going to be so too because he was nasty at Michigan, man.
So, Rose Bowl. Talk about a size speed freak. The one before him from Michigan was David Terrell.
Yup.
Yeah, the Michigan boys back in the day didn't miss around. I remember they had a Monty Toomer.
Ooh,
that's a deep pull. You may not have been alive.
I know. Giants legend.
Amani Toomer.
All right, let's see. We have not been taking DSTs and kickers. We're running out of time for that to still be a thing. But again,
I'll just say it's tough. I'm with you. We only have we got basically 2 weeks.
Is Roshan Johnson still available?
I don't know. Probably.
Do you see the Coach Speak Index has been keeping track, and we're 22 press conferences and no one has asked.
Yeah, I saw where a
single question about Roshan.
There goes Mason Taylor.
Because the last thing I saw was someone saying Kalmanagi's the clear RB2, and then they were like, really, over Roshan? And they were like, well, Roshan was the goal line back with the ones. It's like, well, that seems relevant.
Tyler Lockett. Are you ever taking Tyler Lockett in redraft? This is not to make fun of people. This is to get people to think about
Roshan went.
Okay.
If Roshan, someone had a gun to my head in here and was like, you got to take Tyler Lockett in redraft. I'm not doing it right away.
You're trying to stall for a minute. You're like, you sure you just don't want my wallet or something, man?
Let's talk this through, man. Let's not say anything crazy now.
Okay.
JJ, Tua, and Gino. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, so here's the thing with Cam Ward. We'll run around a little bit on you.
I forgot we need a quarterback. Well, we don't need one, but
we don't have to. But I mean, we just took the 2 Titans. So I mean, I feel like if we take one, he's got the same
Darnold
bye week. He's got the same
Darnold
bye
did
week.
just before a top 10 year.
Yeah. I just think on this team, we just made a bet on Io Manor and Chig.
And that's fun.
And Cam Ward actually might run for 25 yards a game. Like, we're not going to get that from Darnold, even though Darnold is sneaky, like more athletic than what people give him credit for. That 1 year with the Panthers, I remember they had him running like the design run plays.
He had like 5 rushing touchdowns in the first month or so. It was crazy.
Yes, he was running hot.
Penix also available, but I hear you. We're going for the Ward.
Yeah, I just think on this team, he's the name to take. And like, if you're trying to dethrone Patrick Mahomes, like it's Jackson Dart or someone like this. And it's not even that we're trying to do it. Cool. Is there a defense or a kicker that you like? What about the Lions defense? Like, it was actually good before they got like destroyed by injuries. They're going to play with leads.
New coordinators, but they keep promoting. Well, they added Morton from Denver. They promoted from within with Shepard, who's now their
Roman
defensive
Wilson
coordinator. I love how all their coordinators are like these former just badass players like Aaron Glenn and now Kelvin Shepard, like just dogs. Troy
Cam Little kicks a 70-yard field goal, and now he goes in every draft.
Right. Nah, I don't really want the Lions. I'd honestly rather pick up the Patriots or just take them straight up.
I just think the Lions are a better defense. By like
Green Bay, Chicago, Baltimore. They get one break with Cleveland, and then the Bengals, Chiefs, Buccaneers, and a bye.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I guess I have really thought on the idea of taking the defenses that have the good schedule to start the year. It's just never worked out. And maybe it's anecdotal, but I've never seen it work out. Like, I've always had better luck just going ahead and taking, honestly, the good defense.
I think the Patriots are a good defense, though, with a great schedule. So if we want to take the Patriots, I'm fine. I would take the Patriots over the Lions straight up.
All right. So
they're now the sixth most expensive defense in the league. They added a bunch of guys, front seven and Carlton Davis. They still have Gonzo, who's a legit stud cornerback one. And dude, we might not have to replace him until November. Like you're trying to get by on waiver wires. The Patriots are the one to do it. 49ers will be the other one. Robert Saleh's back. They have a nice schedule too. Let me get their schedule up real quick. The 49ers, I have said it, 49ers is the one where I almost don't expect them to be available when the Patriots are, but the 49ers are Seahawks, Saints, Cardinals, Jaguars, Rams, Buccaneers, fine, Falcons, Texans, Giants, Rams, Cardinals, Panthers, Browns. Let's take the fucking 49ers.
So I think we get one of those defenses coming back. Everybody to our right has a defense except for one team. So the question is here, do you want to just get Cam Ward or do you like Lambert Smith?
Let's take Cam Ward. We're going to have to cut one of these wide receivers anyway to keep the second QB in all likelihood. Let me check the bye real quick.
No, he is the same week. It's the same week. It's okay though. I'd already checked it. It's fine. At this point, we want to take the quarterback. We're not worried about the bye week. We want to take the quarterback that, like, based on the team we built, we think has like the most upside. Because how is he ever going to play over Patrick Mahomes? It would have to be, Io Manor and Okonkwo are going nuts, and this guy is why did nobody treat this rookie like the last rookies? Why did no one give this man respect, kind of thing?
November, Ian and Dwain can figure out week 10.
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah. And then we will take the Patriots coming back or the 49ers.
Dude, I was drafting an underdog team earlier, and I sent out a tweet about it, but I just, unbeknownst to me, because I don't even look at buys really until I'm looking at quarterback or tight end, and trying to make sure I'm not overlapping. But I took Marv, Adams, Hunter, Ibuka, and Myers, and they're 4 of the 5 wide receivers are a week 8 bye. And then I drafted freaking Kyler and T-Law and being like, oh man, they're both week 8 buys. I got to do something here. And I was like, good God, I have Gibbs too. He's a week 8 buy. Week 8 is the freaking one from hell. I think it's week 8's the only one that has 6 teams on bye. That's our one buy-mageddon. Only one buy-mageddon this year. That's good.
That is good. That would be a terrible eliminator team.
Yeah. Puppy baby.
I haven't drafted a puppy in a minute. I've just been doing all BBMs.
BBMs, there you go. I like the ones that close and this puppy's actually
no. I like the windows as well. I like the windows. There's advantages. If you're drafting BBMs, you should be drafting them, all along. Like I still like drafting more of my teams late, but you can build some monsters early. The challenge is like the trade-offs, right? You build a monster, but you also drafted a guy that doesn't even make a roster. You draft some dude that gets hurt. 3 of your players get hurt. Like, so you got to balance it out. But if you run pure, like, I mean, think about where you were getting Trevion,
that's
3 months ago. Yeah. You were having a day. Adam Thielen in round 19.
Or Bill. All right, we're going to take a defense.
Bill was not being drafted 3 months ago.
We're going to take a defense. We can wrap up the roster before. So, guys, started off superhero RB, as the kids call it. Christian McCaffrey, round 1. Bucky Irving, round 2. Came back around. We're pleasantly surprised to get T. Higgins in the middle of round 3. Even more surprised to get Kenneth Walker, the third, in round 4. Again, on this site, we are seeing guys fly to get the running backs. DeAndre Swift and Breece Hall were going at the end of round 3. So good getting KW3 afterwards. Tedero McMillan and Xavier Worthy in rounds 5 and 6. I continue to be surprised that Worthy is available as late as he is. Maybe famous last words there. We shall see. We're feeling good about it for right now. David Montgomery in the middle of round 7, a guy Dwain and I are not overly high on. But man, again, on this site particularly, it is surprising to see Zach Charbonnet, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins were 3 of the next 4 picks after him for reference. Went back and forth on tight end or quarterback in round 8. I pulled out my "we're drafting Patrick Mahomes" card, so we did. Wound up with Mark Andrews and Dalton Kincaid in 2 of the next 3 rounds. Got Rashid Shaheed, a nice round 10 price tag that we were enjoying. Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Williams as our 2 next picks in the wide receiver room. Will Shipley, Damian Pierce to fill out the RB room. Chika Conquo is one last tight end just to make sure we're good. Troy Franklin, Alec Ayo Manor to fill out the wide receiver room for good. And Cam Ward in round 19. Mr. Dwain, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, we got Mahomes to Worthy. We've got Cam Ward to Io Manor and Okonkwo. I know you'd like it even better if that was to Calvin Ridley. But no, dude, I felt very comfortable the whole draft. We had one really hard decision, which was the quarterback v tight end. And it still, it worked out fine, but that was the toughest really decision we had. David Montgomery, like you said, we just kind of let the value hit us. And dude, Montgomery can fill in for a running back. If one of our 3 running backs, bye weeks, injuries, like he's a guy we're going to be fine starting. He's on our bench in a league where, like you said, James Conner went in round 4. DeAndre Swift went in round 3. James Cook went in round 3. I like James Cook over David Montgomery, but if you told me I had to bet my mortgage that he's going to score more fantasy points than David Montgomery, I'm not making the bet.
Yeah, 4 round difference. Come on.
Yeah,
that's all.
So, and the contingency upside of David Montgomery is the thing that people forget. And like you said, Zach Charbonnet went the next pick, man.
Crazy.
Zach Charbonnet, might get 25% of the work. Like, could that happen to Montgomery with Jahmyr Gibbs being as good as he is? Yeah. But I think he's more likely 40% on an offense that we like better. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I really like the team. Tight end we waited on and we took 3. Wide receiver we waited on. We kept pounding them when everyone else was taking the running backs. And then we still circled back, man, to get Will Shipley and Damian Pierce. Will Shipley might be one of the best handcuffs out there, to be honest. He's compared to where some of these other guys that are handcuffs go, like Will Shipley is a really good price. And then Damian Pierce, who is battling right now, honestly, in training camp for the running back 1 role with Nick Chubb. So, yeah, tacked on some late wide receiver dart throws. We're going to take a defense for the first time right here. It's the New England Patriots if they don't get taken.
Niners.
If they do. Oh, it's Niners?
Yeah.
Over
Niners
the Patriots? You changed your mind?
Confident. No, Patriots, I've done under the pretense of I thought the 49ers would be gone, but I think the 49ers are stronger.
All right. Well, I like it then.
Like you've heard that schedule talk.
Yes, easiest schedule in the league.
And like they're, they got Salah back, Fred Warner,
offense,
Nick Bosa.
Can build leads, can keep their defense off the field and fresh. Like,
just don't give me some stupid auto here.
Yeah, they're not at the top. So, all right, cool. 49ers. We finally took a defense, but we did not take a kicker because Ian will not allow it ever. Maybe if Brandon Aubrey was available in round 20, I might be able to get Ian to click on a kicker.
Where did he
I'm still not sure. I'm still not confident. 14, round 14. So
hey, if you're gonna do it, I guess it's
if you're taking a kicker, it's Dicker and Bates and the guys that fell to 17 this draft. Like I really like those guys, but normally they're not with them.
I like Team 1, Eagles 8-1-9-2, Chase, Hampton, Kyron, Connor to start. Terry McLaurin, Jerry Judy, Jalen Waddle, Jawan Jennings, Njoku, Garendo, Najee, Algier, Dowdle, got McCarthy, Tua, Geno late. Like if you're going to go late round QB, that makes a lot of sense there. We talked before about Mrs. Mia Wallace, Gibbs, and then the 5 wide receivers, Rashee Rice included. Bunch of good running backs there. Wound up with Zach Ertz and Isaiah Likely at tight end, which I think again works out more than fine there. So several good teams in here. I don't want to besmirch anyone. No, I stand out.
I thought most people took their strategy and they executed it. The hero RB team that started with Jahmyr Gibbs, like you said, Mrs. Mia Wallace, I liked. I thought Take the Cheese actually did a nice job with the 0 running back build. Probably didn't really want to take Isaiah Pacheco in round 5, but it was the right decision, and they circled back to get Eckler, Spears, Jalen Wright, Rashad White, Sean Tucker. Definitely need something to break their way, but guys, their receivers are Justin Jefferson, Drake London, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Zay Flowers, and Romo Dunze. I mean, so really saw the wide receiver room. They got Evan Ingram and Jaden Daniels, so they have really good good onesies. So yeah, I thought a lot of good drafters, honestly, in this room. Mostly it was single one-off picks that I thought were some that were weird. Like just certain players we're not taking in redraft. I'm not taking Alec Pierce. I'm not taking Romeo Dobbs. I'm not taking Rashad Bateman, Ian Might. I'm not taking Tyler Lockett. You really want to bet more on the upside, and it's fine if in those, especially in those later rounds, if those guys are gone, if they end up sucking, then fine, you cut them from the roster. If we have one weakness on our roster, I would say that, we're putting a lot of stock into Tet McMillan and Xavier Worthy, who neither one have necessarily proven it. We are betting on the come, as they like to say, on these two players. We're betting that they're going to hit big and they're going to be really good players. And I think where we got them round 5 and 6, it's great, but there's a chance they're not. There just is, right? We took Tet over DK Metcalf. We know DK Metcalf is a wide receiver 2 when he's really good. We think Tet McMillan could be a wide receiver 1 if he hits, but he could be a wide receiver 4. DK is not going to be a wide receiver 4. So we took some calculated gambles on the way we bet on some of these players, but I mean, I like betting on the upside, and I think the roster construction is really good. The only other potential thing is Tet does have the hamstring thing right now. Kenneth Walker has been, missing some practices, even though when he practices, everything says he's full go. So it really sounds more like the coaches are just trying to rest him and they need a reason. So it's okay, foot. We're just going to say foot. So if I were to nitpick our team, I would say with Tet and Xavier both have to come through the way we want. But what I like is that we doubled down and we said, okay, we bet on Worthy, and now we're going to take Patrick Mahomes. So we're assuming we were right on the bet, and if that's the case, then man, you get the connection between those two, and that could be huge.
Always a benefit of stacking. Less things need to go right. That said, more things could go wrong. But luckily, Dwayne, we do not have a last place punishment in this league. Try not to finish in last place, but just want to throw that out there for all you first or last drafters out there. Dwayne, we've been recording for about 2 hours and 13 minutes. It is past midnight over here in lovely Columbus, Ohio. So we are going to sign off, but this has been fun, everyone. We still have more on the way. Again, if you guys like the video, then please like the video, subscribe, all that goodness. And again, if the competition is still live, Fantasy Life Plus, $1,000 in underdog credits. If it's already passed, then I do apologize, but hopefully we'll have something going on. The codes, Ian, and code Dwain or Ian, whatever you want to do. 20% off. That still will apply. So fun times, everyone. Appreciate you for tuning in. For Dwain, I'm Ian.